right, adventurers, welcome back for another episode of our monthly show, Asunder. Just want to remind you that at halftime we will be doing a couple giveaways, so make sure you stick around for that, and pay attention to the chat to see what the secret code of this month is. But first, let's kick it over to our keeper and see what he has for us today.
Hey, how you doing, my friend? So we're playing Asunder, and we do these one-shots so that this is an encapsulated adventure, though it's continuing characters, but it isn't necessarily connected to the experience we had last time. In Asunder, this is a dark fantasy RPG in a dying world without metal, where the humans inside it, depending on their origin or what island they're from, their essence, their divine spark in them, bonded with a unique part of the world, and they now have a symbiotic relationship with it. For some it's plants, for some it's animals, for some it's these Blice crystals, which allow them to defy gravity. And in our tale, we are seekers, and seekers are people who have seen the signs end, and they're looking for answers to them, despite the fact that those around them say all is well. So we have an amazing group of seekers and a new addition tonight who you've not seen before, though you have seen before if you watched the stream. And so without further ado, we'll introduce our seekers. Take it away, Arcady.
Hello, I'm Arcady, and I play Petra, who is a disgraced Sky City noble, so she can control gravity with the use of crystals, and she's a very talented artist, and yet in her fall from grace and nobility, she's become a bit of a con artist. She is naturally talented, and yet she keeps trying to take the easy way out, which usually involves forgery and scamming people and getting other people to do the dirty work for her. And she's seeking...
also...
Oh, go ahead.
Naturally violent as well, as that came to be.
Who knew?
Yes.
Yeah, and she's seeking somebody she saw in a dream once, who she now knows does exist and is real and is somewhere out there.
Knocked him.
Hi, it's me. I'm playing Gary. Gary is your big swole grandpa. He's been wanting to join the Bone Army for a long time. He's originating from the Black Isle, so he has some, mind powers and knows how to fight with demons, but you can see him carrying around a large bone buster sword and bone shield as he tries to herd cats and do things for the Bone Army, as it were. So it's a lot of fun. He's gotten really close to Petra, so that's kind of been what's been keeping him grounded. Or maybe not, because now she's doing all this violent stuff. I guess we'll see.
And then Autumn.
Hello, I'm Autumn Ivy. I actually play the character Nemain, who is a Picari bonded. She's a little bit scarred up. She likes to pick some fights. She's muscular, but nothing special, you know. She's actually accompanied by two of her bonded mates, Azriel and Mem, who are in and of themselves their own special story. A bird, basically, and that's not all, as well as a horse-like creature, both of which are insane. But yeah, she just does her best and gets in fights and just loses.
And then our newest addition to this group, though not to this channel.
Hi,
John.
I'm Jonathan, also known as the Mad Maker. I play some various characters around here. I'm also the producer of all of our shows here. And today, I'm new, and I'm joining the group. I've made some new friends. My name is Shra. I haven't been around people for a while, but I had a friend on an island that I was on, and then some other people found me along with them. But they didn't want me around too much. But now I met these people because I had to do a job. I got some new people that I'm working for. I'm gonna help out. I'm real excited to be here.
Nice. So Shra is also a seafarer. So this is someone whose essence bonded with the waters, and which are chaotic, and as a result, their essence kept mutating, and they're able to mutate their own physical body.
An
And
check on that. Why is there an echo?
Echo?
Is there an echo on everybody or just?
Echo. I hear no echo.
Okay, wait. I see what the problem was. Okay, I think I solved the problem. Is the echo gone?
I didn't hear one in the beginning, but it sounds
I think it
great.
was just on the production end, or on the stream end. Okay.
Nice. So, and it's a seafarer, and it's the newest addition to the group. And to set our stage here for tonight is that Shara has met with Arcady, with Petra, and had presented to her a glass jar. I shouldn't say glass. It's a bio, almost like a viscous sort of substance, and inside of it was an insect. And it was a message that to get the message, you have to eat the insect. So it can't be tampered with. It can only be delivered once. And it's how the insect weavers send communication around. And this message, it happens to be from somebody in the Sky City of importance that Petra knew well. And she needs to take this message to the governor of Far East. So if you're thinking about the mainland of Asunder, there are 5 key city-states, and the Far East is the newest one, and it's deep into Naga territory. It's the most new and up-and-coming civilization. It's also the one that's the hardest for the others to control, and they don't like that. So you take on...
Eat the bug this time. They gave me some other food so that I wouldn't eat the bug this time.
Yes, isn't that right, Shra? You did not eat. In fact, you are now a little bird, as the individual named Morwin who sent you, set you on this mission, and has now dubbed you one of his little birds. And he gave you a little sapphire pooled bird. Has some value, but if you give it away, he says you'll no longer be one of my birds. And this is your first time you've been accepted since you spoke to the serpent. Or maybe you didn't speak to that serpent.
Oh, no, it was very chatty. We talked a lot. Told me lots of secrets, and it gave me some presents.
So the message that came along to you, Petra, was that Deandra, who happened to be a frenemy of yours back in Sky City, needed this message, and in return, you would be doing a big favor to her and the family, and there could be something in it for you, though those details were kept a little vague. And so you have recruited Gary, who feels somewhat more emotionally obligated than he should to look after you in some way, the way a father looks out for his daughter. And he, in the main, kind of lumbers along with him because he's the access point to adventure, even though he is uncertain of her answers just yet. And so this rabble has decided to head all the way across the mainland from where you guys were at Storm Point, enjoying some, I should say, respite from the last near world-ending moment you found yourself in, only to be thrown into the next. So you traveled for almost a month across land to get to Far East. And this was a tremendous journey that you made. And in arriving in Far East, it is not like any town you've ever seen. Far East is the newest of the mainland cities. You can almost smell the feeling of possibility. This is a frontier town, but a frontier town that is thriving. Waterways run between buildings, and small skiffs are as common as mountain riders and carts. Huge purple mushrooms the size of a four-horned ox are scattered around town. Big, broad, colorful leaves the size of a man fan out from the low trees. The buildings are made of white limestone and a sponge-like moss that bonds to it like glue. Trents, these 6-legged lizard mounts, are the common pack animal here. They are much like dogs in their mindset and prefer to be in packs and are generally friendly to people. Precious stones are heavily mined in the hills, and the most decadent of fruit grows on common trees here. It is exotic and yet dangerous. Carnivorous plants are common, which we knew for all of you, and the town borders the South Spire Naga Clutch, a most ruthless clan of Naga. Paradise comes at a cost. So Petra, with your most beautiful eyes, you were able to gain audience with the governor, and you showed him this sapphire bird. that Shara had, and he took an audience with you, seemingly too quickly, I should say. And then he invited you and your friends to dinner. And while you were at dinner, Gary, with his also beautiful eyes, was speaking with Aurora. She's somebody from the Governor's Council who was, they've just recently signed the Governor's Pact. And she was here meeting with Far East to handle diplomatics. And she invited you to come to her room alone after dinner. But being the wise grandfather you are, you decided it'd be great if you brought friends to keep yourself from getting into too much trouble. And you decided to bring your friends with you to this after dinner rendezvous. Right? And so it's now after dinner. You guys are feeling like you've accomplished this task, and you're outside knocking on Aurora's door. And with your big, meaty fist, you give it a couple of whacks, and sure enough, the door creeps open all on its own, like it could have been closed and locked, but for some reason, it isn't. The door swings open, and lo and behold, this creepy jungle sound that just got cued in here enters the screen, and you step into her room. And this is a fabulous setting, clearly a room of a diplomat. There's beautiful things around. There's bioluminescent lanterns. There's these membranous windows that glow, and everything seems right as rain, except for the naked corpse of Aurora hanging from a constricting vine in the middle of the room. The door shuts behind you on its vine and sits closed, and you're now all staring at what might be hard-pressed to believe in a suicide, as you swinging back and forth. And so much for romance, Gary. So much for romance. So this is where you find yourself right after a lovely meal. Gary, what are you doing?
I sure am glad I brought you guys with me. I had no idea this would be. Well, what is happening? She invited you. Saw, I guess, addressing Petra. You saw the way she was looking at me during dinner. Why this?
Oh yeah, I thought it was weird that you would bring all of us to that. Yeah, this was not what I had in mind. No.
I did.
I'm just gonna assume that wasn't the plan.
That wasn't the plan. I was hoping you would get me out of it and maybe pretend this was some diplomatic meetup. But this, are there signs of a struggle?
This is a weird way to decorate. Is that her sister, you think?
Oh
no. This isn't normal. This isn't normal.
How?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
There's definitely there is some clothes are tossed around. There is some chitin, like almost beetle carapace suitcases that are kind of knocked over to the ground. And I wouldn't consider this a massive fight, but it could be considered just messy or maybe a fight. And the thing that starts to dawn on you, Gary, is that it wasn't just Petra who saw her making eyes and discussion with you. A lot of people at dinner saw her making discussion with you. She might have had more than her fair share of wine on an evening when she should have been a little more discreet.
Nobody touch anything. No touch. No touch. I would like to look at the body.
All right. So you draw and why don't you make a perception check?
6 or 20.
20.
Okay.
You want to get 10 or better, and if your perception is above 10, you get a bonus for each number above 10.
19.
Boom. So you take a glance around the room, and you can start to piece the events together. It apparently looks like maybe she started leaning against the bed, and then something knocked something out of the room. And by the looks of the door, it might have been somebody she knew or somebody she'd invited in accidentally. And then you're looking at her corpse there, and you can see a little bit, obviously there's the bruising around the neck from the hanging. There's a couple of bruises on her ribs, but she's not that torn up from this event. However, this happened. It was somebody who was either very skilled or this is a suicide. And as far as what's on her, there is, well, nothing on her. So nothing to dig into per se, though her luggage and clothing and travel gear is all in the room.
So my assumption is that she was gearing up to leave, but it wasn't just that. The fact that she had bruising on her ribs leads me to believe that this was not a suicide, because you don't go knocking yourself around when you're about to knock yourself off. But if the door doesn't show damage and the room is just reasonably okay, kind of strewn, I would be led to assume it was somebody she knew.
Women don't tend to commit suicide naked either. It's usually too immodest for them. Probably a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a struggle seems to be like what you're deducting there. And you can see there's a various pile of things around the room. Are you going to dive into any investigation, or what's kind of your next play here, Petra?
The maid told me not to touch anything. Does the door out open? Can I open the door again so that we have an out?
You go to, why don't you roll 1d20 for me? Go ahead and make a perception check here.
Oh, no.
Great. That's a 7, and perception straight 7.
Okay, straight 7. So you get to the door and you put your hand on the handle, which is this cool vine, this purplish vine that when you touch it, it's almost sort of soft and warm. And you go to twist it, and then these voices in the hallway cut in through the moment. And it's the sound of, you can hear the sound of heavy footfall, maybe some armor, because just the weight, the wooden thunk that's coming in afterwards. And they're commenting about the outsiders that the governor brought to the dinner, that was outrageous. They're definitely up to nothing, up to no good. And the voices peak by the door and then start to fade away. And they stop, and you can hear them knocking at the door down the hall.
So there's people around. Gary, there's people around. Gary.
We are not getting framed for another thing. We have been framed for weirdly amounts of numbers of things lately.
No, it looks like we're getting framed again. So
it looks like Gary's getting framed again.
There's a window. Look at that window. Looks real inviting to me.
What you would I just tell people what happened. He came in and she's there.
We've tried that before, and people tend not to believe us. So I think running that might work this time.
It looks so. I know. Look, Shara, I know. I would never condone lying, but we have been. How many times, Petra? How many times have we been
3?
3 times.
I'm just throwing this out here, but has anybody bothered to see what was beneath the window? If that was a thing to get out of?
Of course as he slowly backs towards the window. And Gary just kind of glances. Is this like a really tall window, or is there some foliage down below?
Imagine this is like a 3-foot by 3-foot window. It's membranous, so it's like a translucent. It's not the kind you can necessarily, you don't slide it open, right? You have to peel it back. To get it to open up, to give it the old peel.
Yeah, I guess I'll peel it and I'll be like, of course I looked out the window as I'm pulling.
So you peel away out the window, and as you look down, on the side of the building, you're maybe 30 feet up in the air. You can see there's a couple of guards down below. You're inside the governor's palace, and you can, look left, look right. This is a guarded operation. You're kind of in the heart of all that's sacred in this new frontier town.
Okay, I I would like to elect that literally anyone else make this decision.
Well, I could go out the window and probably climb up the building, but the rest of you are on your own then.
So we're climbing up the building. The outsides of these buildings, you said, were like covered with moss and shit, right?
Yep. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
moss
climb
and
up the building,
vines.
just climb up the
This is
building.
I don't do heights.
Right, you have the bird that does heights for you.
Yeah.
Can the bird help you? Can we blindfold you? Because jail's not great.
Mm-mm. Been there, done that. Gary almost died.
I did almost die. It was not fun.
Gary's almost died a lot. I'd love not to die.
I've lived a long life.
Oh.
I haven't. The kid hasn't. We're not dying.
We're not gonna die. The kid'll be fine.
Fine.
What if we hide the body instead of going down?
Oh, so now you want us to touch things?
No. Let me see the window.
I peel
And I
back the
amble
number.
over. God, I hate heights.
It's 30 feet. It's not that bad. It's,
Yeah, it's 30 feet to you. It's 30 feet to die from.
You can fall from pretty high before you die, as long as you just make sure you go feet first.
Oh yes. Let my legs jellify my insides. That's good. And we're
Kid,
gonna do that.
you can climb, right? You're a good
Yeah.
climber.
I climb real good.
Yeah. Petra,
He
can
holds
you...
up his hands, which are like maybe you made him put gloves on earlier, but by this point he like whips them off, and the end of his fingers are claws. He is seafarer mutated. His fingers and toes are claws.
That's useful.
He was built to climb.
He made for this, in fact. Petra, you... Can
Do
you
gravity stuff.
Can you help her break her fall, like, so she won't break her legs?
I stand
why
next
are
to
you-
Nemaine and I'm like, do you see the difference in our biceps, Gary? We're not all very buff like you.
What does your bicep have to do with gravity?
I can't manipulate gravity like that. I can make it work for me, but I can't fly, Gary. I can't make other people fly,
Okay,
Gary.
look, just I will do it. We gotta get out of here because I know that they're outside. I just really hate this concept, so somebody needs to tell me a nice story while I'm climbing down.
Okay.
Shira, why don't you roll a perception check real quick?
Oh, no,
right.
we're gonna
Is
die.
that just a d20?
Please no.
Yeah, roll 1d20, and you're trying to get 10 or better.
That is a 20.
Woo!
Nice. So, Straw, as you're sort of fumbling around, looking over things, your foot steps on something, and you take the old Home Alone crash to your back,
Didn't touch
and you
it.
realize you slipped. You slipped on this chitin-like paste that looked like some of the personal effects of this dignitary, right, of Aurora. And as you came crashing down on it, you cracked it open, and as you peel it back, you realize there's a letter that's in here. There's some writing material, writing tools in here. And what languages do you speak?
I speak blue and trade. I don't read anything.
Nice. So you look at what is some indecipherable gibberish. But I think as the rest of you know, when looking at this, this is clearly this is some sort of formal communication that was in process. And
Is this words that you know how to read?
Take it from him. And what language is it?
what languages do you speak?
Blue and trade.
Okay, you don't. Why don't you make an intelligence check for me?
Okay. 12.
12. And do you have any bonuses for your intelligence?
Yeah, I already added the intelligence. I'm
Okay.
like a con artist, though. So I don't know if that does anything. I don't know if any of my.
Well, I think
trades
from
give me
Sky
anything.
City, you're a learned lady,
Yeah.
right? From Sky City, and you recognize the language, though you can't read it. You recognize it as Haiden, in the same way. If you looked at Chinese characters, you could recognize, oh, that's Mandarin, but I don't know the words. That's usually the language that dignitaries use. It's like the hoity-toity language. of the mainland. It's like a second language, and what's interestingly enough is you can tell from it, it doesn't seem very complete, as there's the last little bit of it kind of dribbles off and seems incomplete. Does anybody else speak Haydn or read Haydn?
No. I can't read
No.
it. It's written in cursive that fancy people write.
It's the fancy people talk here. So this is something that's found here. You also notice, Strawn, you're collapsing through her stuff. You know, there's a couple of sapphires that you could steal from her luggage.
Can I touch these things now since they're already open? Can I touch this?
All right, look, as the professional murderer of this group, at this point, I don't care. You guys are making me climb down the side of a building. Go ahead, touch stuff.
Yes.
I'm going to tell them you touched it.
I am touching
Don't tell.
everything. Oh,
You pull
wow. Wow. He just holds them up. He's like, wow.
Shh, it's fine. Yeah, they're pretty. They're shiny. We need to go out
Okay,
that
we're gonna
window. We should go
So
out.
you can hear those voices down the hall saying, "Did you hear something? Did you hear something?"
I didn't hear anything. Out the window.
And so you grab 3 sapphires, Shira, that you snake out of there, and you also notice there is a what looks like some sort of a living piece of equipment. You can only see sort of the edge of it. It's tucked into one of these chitin briefcases. You can see, but you can't get a full glimpse of what it is. But that's the last thing you see.
If everybody's still being around indecisive, nobody's told me explicitly what to do. I'm gonna go for that thing and see what it is. I'm very curious. I'm a curious little feller.
Push your hand into this black chitin case, and you start to feel this living. It's wet and living. Yeah. You can almost feel like little tendrils on it. And as you slide your hand into it, it starts to grab around your fingers and forearm. And before you know it, you've pulled out this gauntlet that's made of this living material. There's what look like phosphorescent eyes on it, like an amber color. There's 3 or 4 of them around it. And when you hold it in your hand and you can just feel it, you can just feel your adrenaline just start to raise just holding it. And there's almost, your mind starts to feel a little cloudy, almost like this sort of rage-like feeling comes over you. And you can tell that if you pushed this thing, if you reached into it with your essence, you would ignite it, and you would have an explosive, combative rage. So
Can you hear me?
roll. Yes, I can hear you.
Guys, it talks. It talks the same way the serpent talks. It's like talks in the head.
Oh no.
What?
It talks to me in my head.
I am now.
Who else? What, the serpent talked to you in your head?
But window.
Who? You know what? I'm gonna take like as much strength as I have and pick the skinny kid up and like take him to the window with me. Figure this out later.
What did you want me to roll?
Oh yeah, so roll 1d6.
Okay. That is a 1.
I am stressed.
Okay, so you take 1 strain, and that's because essentially what's happened is this living organism is now injecting particles and pieces into your body to bond with you. So you're going to become bonded with this equipment. It takes about 10 minutes for it to be fully bonded and for you to be able to use it. Now you have to keep this thing on, or at least every other day, or it will die. As hence what living gear is, and it feeds off 1 health point a day from you, which you can fix in a healing. But boy, this thing is making that 16-year-old brain of yours feel like, man, there isn't anything that could stop me now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
What are we
deep.
climbing up? I think I'll just carry you. Hey, man, I'll just carry you. Down, up. Are we going up or down? Let's go out the window, though.
Listen,
Yeah,
I think
how
you're pretty
high
great.
is-
Please don't touch me.
What's up? What's up out the window?
So if you look up, it goes up another story. So imagine this is a 4-story building, and it's constructed of this really elegant, almost cherry-colored wood. And there are also sort of living vines, and there is this rich, vibrant moss, but it's almost like a purplish color. So it's this red and purple estate with this these tendrils of vines on it. It's quite garish in its colors. And it goes up, and imagine the building goes up, it sort of peaks at the top. It's flat enough that you could stand on it, but it goes up one more story. What's on the other side? You don't know. But down beneath you, imagine it's about 10 to 20 yards to this briar fence, if you will. Imagine it's a fence made out of this thorn-like vines that you can tell by the looks of them, they're somewhat of a carnivorous plant in the sense if you touch it, they lock down, that surround the edge of it. And then you see 3 guards running the path. And these guards are armed with these wooden spears with stone tips. They're in bark armor, and I wouldn't consider them the elite guard, but they look more observant than the average goon.
All right, I vote up.
Question. Did anybody see Gary come into this room?
I did.
Gary,
Baby. Oh. I know
Gary,
you did.
Gary, why don't you roll? Why don't you go ahead and roll one die 20 here for me? Make a perception check.
That is an 18.
Oh,
An 18. When you were on your way up the hallway, as you guys were making your way on in, you remember just before you stepped into the room, you glanced down the hallway. You glanced down the hallway and you saw this man, gray beard, gray hair, but very distinguished, in a cape made from this myriad of colored leaves that seemed to sort of wrap around him. You caught his attention for a moment, and then you dismissed it as you were confronted by something that took all your attention. So you did remember seeing that. You don't necessarily know who that guy was. You don't remember him being introduced at the dinner, but he clearly saw you.
There was a guy in a cape that saw us come in here.
Gary, my guy. All right.
You were all with me. We
You
did
asked
this
us to be
together.
here. You asked because
I
we're
was
friends,
worried about
Gary.
something very different trying to happen, but this is better. It's all
Worse.
bad. It's all
was
bad.
the guy in motion? Was he coming from this hallway? Was he going somewhere? Did you guys just lock eyes romantically? What did you see?
He did have a nice cape, but there was just a moment, and then he walked away. I didn't think anything of it. Also, lady kind of took all my attention as soon as we opened the door.
Am I not a lady to you?
I meant this specific lady, the dead one.
Listen, what if this guy was the guy that was here, but then this guy went out there and then saw you and was like, oh, perfect timing. And now that guy's going to go tell the other guys that we're in here doing that thing.
Why would you go
So
find him?
So even if we leave, they're going to hunt us down.
Again.
we should go
Find him first.
fight everyone else in the building on the way to there to clear our names. All right, we can go out in the hall and just announce somebody murdered these people and it wasn't us. I mean, I have a mild standing with the Bone Army at the very
We did
least.
try that on the ship last time. It didn't go great for us, but we could try it again if you do want to be all honest.
People on ships
we're
aren't
kind of
very
also-
nice.
Yeah, those were kind of pirates.
They were all asshole. Everyone on that ship was an asshole.
This is the government, also pirates, in case you're forgetting, just of a different variety.
Also assholes.
So, window or asshole?
You hear a loud knock on the door here, and it's those same voices knocking that you heard a moment before, calling out. One's a man, one's a woman, saying, Aurora, just doing the rounds for the night. Do you have any other needs? Aurora?
I'm
The
gonna
pregnant
try.
pause just hangs in the air.
Can I try to throw my voice as a con artist and musician to sound like her?
Yeah, to sound like her. Okay, let's give it a go. So I'm gonna give you. So
Are the
Go ahead.
walls of this place smooth, or are they covered in completely just like covered in vines?
no. On the inside, there's fabric hanging. This is an elegant room that has fabric hanging. There's semi-precious crystals
I guess what I'm asking
all
is
around.
like, what are the walls made out of? Could I climb them easily?
Yes, would, and you certainly could.
Sure, I will go and scurry up the wall and like hang in the ceiling over the doorway, just in case.
Okay. Okay, so go ahead and make an agility challenge roll, and you have a boon. So you roll 1d20, and then because you have a boon because of your climbing claws,
Okay.
and you can also climb, sort of speak, impossible things such as flat walls. So roll 1d20, add your agility bonus, which is whatever amount you have over the number 10.
Okay.
And then roll 1d6 for your boon, and add all that together.
Okay. My initial roll was a 5. My boon was also a 5, and I have a 1 bonus for agility, so I have a total of 11.
Nice, you do it. So, like Spider-Man himself, the claws pop out, dig right into the wood, and boom, boom, boom. Soon, imagine here's the doorway. You're upside down, hanging above it. So if anybody
The
sneaks in,
gauntleted fist is just cocked and ready to go.
okay, you are ready to go. Aurora, everything okay in there?
Yeah, I will absolutely throw my voice to try to sound like her.
All right, so I'm going to let you do this. I think you're definitely get a Bane to try and accomplish this feat, seeing as how you hardly knew the woman. And so why don't you go ahead and make an intelligence check
Okay.
with one,
One
Bane.
18 plus 1 intelligence, so that's a 19 base, and the Bane minus 1, 17.
Boom. So you
Or 18,
pitch
sorry.
out.
The math.
So both accomplish the feat. So why don't you go ahead and let us know, Petra? How does Aurora sound? What would she say?
Having spent my time, having grown up literally as nobility, I do put on my most noble voice. Nice. All good here. Thank you, sir. You may leave.
Excellent. What in the night? Do you think you might want? You might need anything?
No.
All right. Well, for breakfast, we're thinking about just a half past sunrise. Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Well, really nice having you here with us. We're just in the hall if you need anything.
Thank you. Very kind of you.
Yeah, you can hear them trotting down the hallway, knock on the next door, give another spiel, give the next spiel. Nice work.
Window.
And I
Window
didn't
now.
have to climb. You're still going to make me climb down the window.
We still need to get out of this room.
We can't live in here. Do you
Yeah,
want to
but
go?
we can wait and leave. We need to be seen somewhere else.
I mean, what if we climb out the window? Do I know where my room is? Is my room on this floor? Did we have a room?
You didn't have a room. You were invited for dinner. So you gave the message to the governor and said, hey, why don't you stick around and come to dinner? There was no official room for Gary.
We have to be seen leaving. If they don't see us leaving, or at least in another area, they're going to know and they're going to blame you.
Window, roof, in another window.
I was thinking another window.
I can go look around. I can find an empty window.
Do that.
He
Okay.
can climb.
He scurries along the ceiling and then just like down and
I don't know
out the
when or how
window.
we acquired him, but I like him. Keep him. He's my pocket friend now.
Oof.
Nice. So roll 1d20 for me.
that'll be 14.
Okay. You zip right on out the window, and you step out. You step right outside of the window. You're climbing on the wall. Your hook's just digging right into this. This is the perfect climber's arena, right? It's wood. It's got moss. It's vines, and you're slipping across it. You're moving slower because if you move slower, you have a better chance at staying unseen. So why don't you go ahead and give me an agility challenge roll here? And it's not to climb because you've already successfully done that. But now it's do you stay unseen as you
Okay.
work your way around?
All right. So my d20 roll is 12, and my agility gives me +1.
Okay. So you are like glue. to this governor's palace here. You are slipping across the vines. You're moving across it like you were made for this moment. So as you start to move around the building, you realize there's another window. You assume it's the room down the hall, and you can see there's another and another. So there's 3 more windows on the. So imagine like you're on a corner, if you will, right? You're on the corner, and you zipped around the corner, and you see 3 more windows.
I'm gonna be like lizard-like going along sideways, and just kind of like from the top corner, peeking in on each one to see if any of them look empty.
So they're translucent, so you can't really see inside. But let's give it a. On the second window, you don't see any shapes. The first window, there is definitely some shapes moving around on the inside. The second one, you don't see anything. And then the third one, there's maybe 4 or 5 shapes that are sort of busily moving around. Maybe it's some after-hours party or something. There's maybe too much noise coming from that room.
Okay. And I will scurry back and then pop my head back into the room.
I think there's an empty one. There's a window. I don't see anything in there. It's very quiet and there's nothing moving around. So.
Great.
It's over and it's around the corner. It's the one after the one that's right there's the other one.
Second one?
Yes, second.
That's the word.
The word. Second one.
We'll work on counting and then we'll work on reading later, okay?
I can. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm out the window.
Nice. Oh, so everybody make an agility challenge roll. And unlike our fearless friend, you don't get any boons to help you out. This is a scalable place. And maybe does somebody have any, what are some professions maybe somebody might have? A burglary profession might give you some help in this.
Criminal.
20 plus 3, so 23.
So you sneak around this. Go ahead and Autumn, go ahead and make your roll with 1 die 20 and give yourself a boon because this isn't the first house you've had to scale and break into in your time.
16.
16?
Yeah.
Gary?
I got a 5 plus 1, so a 6.
Oh, good God.
Oh, Gary.
None of my professions, because I have peasant, conscript, agitator, and champion, and none of those are going to help me.
No. As a champion and a peasant's conscript, you did very little breaking and entering. So you guys crawl out of this window, and it is an elaborate display of dexterity as Shara quickly moves over to window number 2. Petra seems to be floating through the air as if she was made for this. And then Nemaine, her just thick-ass muscles just lock in as she moves across this building. And the 3 of you are surrounding that second window, and you notice there's something wrong here. Isn't there a 4th person that was with you? And you all seem to look at Q at the same time, and you see Gary is, with a sword as big as himself, trying to sneak around this window like a bull in a china shop, and he makes that handhold to that vine, and it breaks, and he goes.
How far away is
falling
he?
down?
Mm-hmm.
He's far. You could take a triggered action. You could. I guess you could make a try and leap for. Make a triggered action. You could take a triggered action with
I've been
2 bane.
climbing around and jumping from trees to trees. He's a big guy, but
I'm feeling strong as fuck. And so without hesitation, I'm going to at least try to, I don't know if he's close enough, but I'm going to try to dive after him. I'm just going to dive and try to like grab him with the gauntlet arm and then dig my claws into the wall.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and make an agility challenge roll with 2 banes. And the way that works is you roll 2 1 die 6s, and then you just take the highest of the 2. You don't add them together. You just take the highest of the 2.
So base roll is 18. First roll is 5. Second roll is 1. So it's 13 plus I do have a +1 in agility, so 14 total.
Okay, so you leap out and you catch his arm. As impossible as that feat may be, you catch Gary's arm. You got one hand on your one, and now all of Gary's massive weight shirks on you. So you make a strength challenge roll with 1 bane, as Gary is bigger than you, and see if you can hang on to him.
Can I throw Gary?
Base roll is 20, and I have a +1 in strength, and my Bane is 6, so total of 15.
Okay.
Good, I don't
Sorry,
even
what were you
have to
saying,
do that
Petra?
then. I was gonna get ready with my living vine rope that I have and toss that to Gary so that Gary can start grappling himself and Shara doesn't have to take all the weight.
Whoa, you're really big!
Takes all the weight. Boom. Why don't you describe how this happens, Shara? I mean, Gary is in free fall. Life is passing before his eyes. What happens?
I mean, I'm feeling juiced up from this gauntlet, and I've, my years marooned on this island with, like, basically no one to talk to but this serpent. And Mom's still there. Just
Her heart's in a glass jar. It's
dive after.
kind of a lot.
Oh, you're just giving that away? I thought that was gonna be. All right. Actually, yeah, you might even hear it. Just dives off the wall and reaches out with that gauntlet arm and just, I imagine if Gary's like flailing through the air, just grabs a wrist and the other hand and both of the feet dig into the wall and it just like drags down before it finally catches. Gotcha. You grab something. You grab something? You're really big. Please grab something.
I'll grab the wall, but I imagine I slammed into it because I fell off of it. So I imagine he catches me.
This is an unpleasant experience for you. There's nothing gentle about this. This is catch, grab, slam. I was once rappelling as a teenager and the rope broke on me. And in that process, I, slammed into the ground and a wall, etc. And this is probably that kind of a feeling where you boom, right into that wall. Let's see if the guards down below have a notice. No. You slam into the wall, and the two guards down below look at each other. They look around, they start peeking, but they don't look up.
Thank God.
So yeah, I'll continue climbing. I'm hoping that kid, can you just don't let go, please? I'm gonna try to use him since he's so good at climbing, maybe to help me climb.
I'm going to throw my living vine at him, but hand the other end to Nemain because, I am clearly not the buff one of this group at all. So
I think I don't want to take a hand off everything. So as it swings over towards me, I kind of try to wrap my head and pinch it in a shoulder and swing it over.
What you definitely do if you throw your weight, you could probably swing Gary around and slam him into the window, and knowing his size, he would probably go right through that window.
Through the window.
That'll cause a
but will it make
pretty
noise?
Big den.
Can we open the window first? Because Petra and Nemain are probably up closer to the window.
Can you do that before Shara? Because I don't know if Shara's gonna think that far ahead. So
yeah, I'm gonna open the window. If it
make an agility check here, Petra. You got 2 Banes to see if you can get this window ripped open before Gary's massive body goes through it.
Hold on, Grandpa.
That's an 18. Regular first Bane is -1. Second Bane is -3. So 18 minus 4, 14.
You rip that window open right as Gary's body comes flying into the window. And crashes on the floor.
Scrambling after Gary.
I'm getting much too old for this.
Yes, you're very old. You're real old.
Yes, thank you. Watch it.
Did you all climb inside the window after Gary?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys scramble inside of the window.
And close the window. Close the membrane back over.
Boom. It's closed. And somehow, as impossible it is, no one heard or caught that. You're sitting there, the room is empty. The room is empty. It's clean. It's looking in good shape. Interestingly enough, on the wall, there is almost looks like a spiral of vines on the side of the on one of the walls, like as if the wall itself was rotating around into this spiral. And which is unusual. You've not seen that in any other rooms. And the room is immaculately well kept. You can realize it's just an empty room for the night.
Okay.
This place is nice too. There's a lot of nice rooms here. Are we still being quiet?
Let's go through the window, they say. It's gonna be fine, they say.
It was, and it was. We said it, and it was fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. Gary just plops down on the bed and lays back, just like it was fine. We're fine. We're fine. You're fine.
You did real well.
Yeah. Yeah. What are we doing next? What this empty. So
Door out.
Yeah, do we have to pretend like we came from
Real
this
casual?
door? Are we just like, oh man, I loved 319. That was a great room to be in this whole night. No one else was there.
they're gonna want to know.
We pretend we got lost on the way to the bathroom. That trick works all the time.
As a group?
Yeah, girls go in pairs, and
I was gonna say I had to show him where the bathroom is, but he's old enough to know.
We're taking baths.
he's not old enough to know. See, this lie will work.
You know what? Whoever's better at talking can do that. And I'm looking at Petra, but I'm offering it to anybody who's
I
better
also
at
look at Petra
I talk a
immediately.
No, buddy, it's okay. You did good. You caught me. I don't know what
good.
that thing is on your arm.
I don't
assume
know
it's-
either, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for the door out and listen at it while they're trying to.
Good job,
Yeah.
buddy.
So stressed. Even when we're doing well, I'm stressed.
So you go to the door and you put your ear to it. Roll. Give me a perception check.
Okay. 10 straight roll. 10.
10. So you give what you can hear is you can hear the sound of those two totally annoying guards walking, down the hallway as they're making their nightly rounds. They're not close. By the sounds of it, they're on their way away.
If we go, now might be our best chance to go, and we just have to come up with the rest of the plan on the fly. Because those guards are making the rounds, but they're kind of going the other way, and if we go the other way...
and go! Go!
Open the door! and go!
Come on,
Nice.
kid, let's go.
You throw open the door, and boom, you burst into the hallway, and all you know is that you came from the right. You don't know this. You don't know the governor's palace at all. You know you came from the right, and you can go left or right.
Okay, act
And
natural.
the guards
Everybody act
are to
natural.
the right.
What direction did the guy go, Gary, before? Do you remember? When you were facing the doorway to her room, which direction did you look at him?
Left.
He would
No,
have been
right.
to the left.
Oh,
He would have been
was
to the left. So
left.
imagine it, now that you're spun around, but just going out this door, he would have been on your left. Was where the guy was.
Gotcha. Left.
And the guards are
Right.
left or right?
Going right. They're right.
I say we go left.
I say we go left and find a stairwell so that we're not on this floor at all.
Yes, that.
Mhm.
Smart lady, listen, that.
I'm going.
Left. Man, they've got
Left.
nice bathrooms in this place.
Boom. So you're racing down this hallway. This is beautifully ornate, well-carved wood walls that have there's tree trunks on the corners. There's bioluminescent lanterns, right? There's this soft, beautiful moss carpet that seems to just absorb your footfalls, unless you are a guard with big, ugly boots. But as you're zipping down this hallway, you comes to a spiral staircase at the end of it, and there's essentially about 3 or 4 more rooms to your left and right, and then this spiral staircase going down.
Let's go down the stairs. Everybody seemed to nod. I'll make
Whatever
that
you say.
executive decision. I'm going.
Boom! Petra leaps down the stairs, and well, go ahead and make a perception check for me, Petra.
That dice fell. I'm gonna re-roll it because it's on my carpet. All right. 17.
17. So as you leap down these stairs, you're taking them 2 at a time. You start to hear this sound, this thump, 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 almost like it's like something was being dragged
What
down the
direction?
steps. Thump, thump. It's ahead of you.
Ahead of us. I'm gonna hold my hand
Listen.
out and turn and shush everybody behind me.
Thump, thump, thump. It stops for a moment. You can hear a few sounds, almost like something maybe might be being maneuvered, some wood sort of scratching against wood you can hear. and then it goes silent.
Can anybody look down the staircase first?
Yeah, who's feeling particularly sneaky?
Would criminal be a good position here to look and be sneaky?
All right,
Even
I'll
though
give
I'm
you a
sizable?
boon. Listen, you're sizable, not in the sense that you are 7 feet tall. You just have great shoulders.
I do. You're right.
You have great shoulders. So yeah, you can try to sneak your way down, and I'll give you a boon based on your criminal background to try to make this attempt to sneak down the steps without being seen. So
Perfect.
make an agility check,
Right. 9.
and then roll 1d6.
2.
Okay, that takes you just over the edge. So you calling back to the days when you were less reputable, though maybe those days haven't ended.
Right?
You get into a cat-like stance and you slither your way down the steps, and you notice that there is this what almost feels like the wall itself is this circle of vines, right? That seems to maneuver around into this spiral that leads into a center, and you can see that spiral has opened up, and what you think is a large tail of a serpent. You know, it's maybe this size, it's thick around, and that serpent's tail goes thump, 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 and that spiral closes up behind it in the wall, and the sound fades away of that dragging thump.
So I turn back to the group, and I calmly and quietly walk back up the stairs. Naga?
Great.
Naga,
Yeah.
Here, I don't think.
Yeah, no, listen. I know what I heard. I know what I saw. Now would be a fantastic time to get away from that door. Unless, of course, our friend has anything to do with having knowledge, having talked to snakes before. You know anything about that?
That was like a big like sea serpent, and he lived under island. But if this is like a small sea serpent, maybe I can talk. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a small sea serpent.
This might be a little. It's okay, buddy. Might be a little different, but let's go. Now is a good go. Go is good. Good is go.
Where?
Gary,
Where?
why don't you and Petra make an intelligence check?
Great.
Ooh, that's what I'm good at.
Oh God.
14.
14.
Hey.
Yay.
Yeah.
We were equally as smart because we got that brain share connection thing going. Yeah.
Are you linked to her?
In our mind, we're probably like, what the hell's going on?
It's like, I don't want this kid to get his arm ripped off by a naga.
That is a good arm.
So it starts to put together in your mind. It's like when you think about the room, the murder that took place. I mean, a naga is unbearably strong, right? And could easily take that woman without a fight, right? And could have hung them from the ceiling, right? Because naga have amazing height advantage, right? Because they can rise up 10, 12 feet tall. And so the crime starts to kind of fit together in your mind. If that could have been could that have been the perpetrator?
Yeah. At the very least, we need to make sure someone knows that naga is here. At the best, we go beat it to death.
What if I just scream for help? What
Get
if
to
I
the
just
bottom
scream
floor
that
first.
I see a naga?
Do that. We got to go through.
So what? Yeah, and on a side note, Gary, you're definitely the Bone Army as far as you being their front man. Naga and the Bone Army by design,
Clash.
you know. Yeah, by design.
Okay.
But sorry, Petra, you were saying there about screaming.
Yeah, what if I just walk, look at it, and start screaming for help like a helpless lady? People do come and genuinely try to help helpless ladies.
I am one of those people who generally is supposed to be doing that, so I'll probably... This may end in a fight regardless, and I'm looking at Nemain and I'm like, I don't know, you seem like you probably enjoy a good fight. I don't know. I would like to ask, if we've been traveling together, I probably would have sparred with Nemain a few times if that was what she liked to do, like having someone to fight and like train with. I don't know though. I don't want to.
No, you're right.
Okay,
You're
so
right.
yeah, it's like we fought. We know you want to go beat this thing.
I
I'll
would.
hold it and you punch.
Perfect. That's it.
What are we gonna fight?
Oh, how about you, buddy? You got that new gauntlet. I bet you want to try that out. I am instigating. I am leaning into my what is that thing that I forgot what it's called.
Flaw.
Agitator.
Yeah, my fatal flaw. I'm always looking for a fight. So like at this, I'm like, buddy, you know the best way to break that in is to go get it covered in something else's blood.
Well, I think it's also Nemain's fatal flaw is starting to get hit as well too here. That I would say that you guys need to escalate the situation or make a will check to resist your desire to get into the fight.
Let's charge the snake and scream for help.
Yeah.
We're gonna fight a snake?
It's a snake and a lip buff lady. It's a twofer.
But not like the other one.
But they're all bad. Mean lady probably killed other lady upstairs.
All right. I fish around in my bag. Is this gauntlet something I can get knuckle dusters on over? Or is it like a big covering my thing?
Yeah, in fact, you take your knuckle dusters and the living gauntlet just reacts to it, and you just slide it on the fingers and it wraps itself around there and it just adjusts just to fit the knuckle dusters because you can communicate with this living gauntlet and it obeys.
Cool.
All right, that thing
You've got these knuckle dusters are these bone, essentially brass knuckles, if you will, but bone in this world with chips of stone and spiky obsidian there that allow him to just get scrappy and deadly.
Listen, that thing is ballin'.
I like it. It's very.
I like it too.
Do you want it?
I mean, yeah. Can I have it?
Yeah. Can I take it off?
You can certainly take it off and give it to her. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll take it off and give it to her.
Oh my God! Perfect. Yes.
He takes it off. He rips this thing off, and you can feel all the little tendrils that have just spent the last 20 minutes digging their way into you, rip themselves out of you, and you hand it to Nemain, and you can feel it just burning in there. But Nemain, you slip it on. Nemain, you slip on the gauntlet. Yeah.
Hurt you to take it off. So just
It's
leave it on.
worth it, baby.
Just leave it on.
Let's do this.
Roll 1d6, Nemain.
All right. 3.
Okay, so you now take 3 strain, and you are bonding with this gauntlet, right? You can feel it dig into your flesh there. You can feel it starting to eject plant matter into your veins. You're a little woozy for a moment. And so what happens is, so you know that when your strain equals your willpower, you have an essence break, which is pretty devastating for the record.
Would our strain have reset from last session?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Just making sure. I was at 8 out of 10, so that's a good thing.
Feels good, all right?
Jesus.
You can talk to it.
does.
Or can you talk to it? Or can only I talk to it?
Try talking
No.
to it.
Now that she has it, she's the one that can actually communicate with it, and not yourself. It's you lost that voice.
It's fine.
Sorry, buddy. I'll talk to you. It's fine. She taps on one of the eyes and looks up at it and kind of holds it and shifts it.
And you can feel that same feeling. You can feel that rage just start to boil up in you, right? As much as you already have it, it took it from an 8 to a 10, just holding it on here. You're starting to shake. It feels so intense.
I propel myself through life by sheer force of spite and anger alone. This is going to go great.
All
I
right,
love it.
let's go punch a thing.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
follow the snake. Naga.
So yeah,
So you
down
guys
the
make your way
stairs.
down the stairs, and you come to where the main had seen, and it's the wall is sealed, and the vines that normally were just running up and down the walls, this entire wall seems to be a circle of them, almost like a maze of them that circles around into a point in the middle, and that's what you're staring at.
poke it, touch it in the center, see if that works.
You give it a little poke. It seems like a vine. They're a little softer than normal, right? It's almost spongy. Give it a little poke.
Nothing. I take out my Vasha and I just cut a hole through the vines then. I'm tired of this store.
So roll 1d20.
10.
Okay. You take your Vasha and you slam it into that, and it's like you slammed your Vasha into just a wall of wood, right? It gets a little bit in, but it doesn't cut through it. There's more to this than just that.
You want to try with the Rage Fist, Nemain? Because I'm out of ideas.
Yeah, I'm done. Let's do this.
It might talk
Okay.
to it, actually. That's
Oh,
like
you're
the
right.
triangle.
So Nemain, go ahead.
Is there look like any sort of port or somewhere where you would interface with this thing, like with a ship?
There's not necessarily a port per se, but you can see the way the tendrils of it all sort of lead to this single point in the middle of it.
I like, as you all are talking, I think Shirao just goes and kind of just like sticks his hand in the center and see if he can like slowly push it in, because he's a seafarer. Even as a kid, he had some experience driving skiffs and shit.
Yep. True. So roll 1d6, Shirab.
It's a 1.
1. So you push your hand into the center of that, you give it a big push, and then all of a sudden your arm is all the way shoulder deep into the wall. And take one strain. Once again, you can feel that same bits of living matter injected into your body, and the spiral starts to open back up. It spins around, opening up, revealing a passage that leads down a set of these purple moss-covered steps. There's a phosphorescent glow, and it's cut out of a stone, like that limestone color that seems to fill all the houses. That seems to lead down, clearly lower into the governor's palace, and clearly not a normally marked door.
Guys, I did a thing.
It was good.
It was good.
Thanks.
Job. So
Yeah.
great. Does this look like part of the hotel or the manor or whatever that we're in, or is it like this looks like a secret corridor going somewhere else?
It looks like the ladder there. It looks like the secret sort of stuff there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hopefully
because these steps and the limestone walls are completely different than the rest of the manor.
Okay. Fun. Let's go kill a snake. I'll lead the charge unless anybody else is rare. Although I'm sure Nemain is like shoulder at shoulder with me, gear ready to go.
Yeah, buddy.
I love that there's strong people that I can stand behind in this group.
The wall of meat.
Yep.
The single file line. This is wide enough for single file, or maybe one naga to get down there. So your face, you're number 1, Nemain, you're number 2. Is that how you want to do it, or Petra, you're number 3, and Shara, you're in the back, or how do you see it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
take up the rear.
That's fine with
Okay.
me. Whatever
Yeah.
works.
So you make your way down the stairs, and it's beautiful because this phosphorescent glow from the purple moss reflects off this grayish white limestone. As you're maneuvering down this circular spiral staircase, you keep going lower. You've got about 20 or 30 feet. You're now definitely beneath the ground, right? And all of you go ahead and make a perception check.
Oh God, 4.
6.
13.
3.
Shara, what was yours?
Oh wait, I have to add the difference from 10 on my perception. Okay,
Yeah,
so
roll
it's 12.
1d20. 12. Okay. So, Gary, leading this group fearlessly as you do, you hit the bottom of these steps and you step right out into the room. And what you didn't realize was there was a whole conversation going on that you just walked right into the middle of. And the room, it's this large, almost hall with a series of shelves that seem to carry all kinds of living gear. You can even feel the presence of a chaos shard in this room. You can just feel that presence. Various living gear lines the walls. This is certainly where the secrets of Far East are kept in this room. And standing in the middle of it is a naga. Her 4 guards. The man you saw with the silver beard, and then Graydon, the governor of Far East, deep in the middle of a conversation. And you step right out into the middle of this as you didn't quite catch this, though Shira was like, hey, wait, I think there might be a...
There's a snake.
And you step right into it.
Is that the snake woman we're here to kill?
Yeah, buddy. That's
I clasp my hand over his mouth like half a second too late.
You step down into it, and staring back at you are these 5 sets of naga eyes, the man from the hall, and the governor. And the governor is no slouch. He's a symbiont by path, and he often keeps some immaculate living cannon on his arm. And then the man with the leaf cape, though, he's nothing living on him. But boy, he's not even ruffled by the sight of you. However, the naga, who seems to be, just by the virtue of her size and poise, seems to be leading the others, immediately whirls on you this massive double-sided bone axe. Looks like it
want it.
You want to cut a man in half, and she looks right at you. The rage is boiling in her. You can see her. This is a sister of violence like yourself. You know, you were probably made to fight. And before she can leap out with that axe, Graydon, the governor, yells out, whoa, 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 they're with me.
We were just trying to find the bathroom.
This is a fancy bathroom.
I need to take a bath.
Mm-hmm.
We were all going to take a bath.
And the lead naga looks back at Graydon with his look that says, please, just let me kill them. This can't be real. And Graydon looks at Petra and says, I guess I underestimated you. Deandra did send somebody more exceptional than I thought.
Thank you. I say slightly confused, but I will still take the compliment.
How much did you hear?
Truthfully, nothing.
The naga just snorts at that. So her fellow warriors are just gripping their axes. Graydon says, I'll make this very clear here because it's unlikely everyone gets to leave here alive. You came from Deandra to deliver a message, but are you working for someone else? And be very careful with how you answer that.
I work for myself. I don't know what was in the message. You know I don't know what was in the message. They don't work that way. You're the only one who could know. Really, we are just trying to leave. We're literally the messengers, and you don't normally want to kill those.
Oh, I disagree. He looks over at Gary. He takes one look over at you, Gary. So are you, is this a Bone Army? Did they put you up to this?
I work for the Bone Army, yes. They didn't put me up to anything. I just work as her bodyguard, and I kind of nod my head back towards Petra.
He just shakes his head. It always gets so complicated right near the end. We get rid of one problem only to invite 4 new ones.
It's hardly complicated. You just let us walk out the front door and we're out of Far East forever.
This man's proposing we're a problem. I'm happy to show him a problem.
I'm
Nice.
a bird.
So,
That is a bird.
do you? The group looks over at you. They can't even comprehend the gibberish that came out of your mouth. Do you show them your bird, or do you just say you're a bird?
I'm just a bird. and I was supposed to bring a bug and not eat it. Is that a problem? I didn't eat the bug.
They just continue to ignore you as the village idiot, and look to you. And so, on a side note, what you realize, what's happening here, table talk for a second, is this the governor meeting with a mysterious man and the Naga. This is the direct violation of the governor's pact, right? The governor's pact is that no governor shall have any dealings with the Naga, right? Because that's their front, and as a result of shutting out the Naga, the other governors will come to another governor's aid. So what you're in the middle of is you're essentially you're in the middle of witnessing treason, is what you're witnessing, and that's what Aurora. That's her job, was to oversee the governor's pact and people's willingness to keep it.
Ooh, boy. Okay, so yeah, in my mental link that I have with Petra, I will just say, this is treason, and we either need to do something about it or we need to leave. So fight or flight.
I don't leave. I don't give a damn about treason. Let the governors have their pithy fights.
So then I immediately turn over my shoulder just real quick to Nemain, fight or flight. So Petra wants to leave.
I want to beat the snake lady with every other person. Yeah.
So we got one in both camps, and I'm trying to do this as quick as possible.
I'll ask the same to Shara in blue so that they can't understand what I'm saying unless they say blue. Fight or flight.
I can't actually fly. I'm not like a real bird. But I can climb.
If we run, you're gonna run with us, right?
Yeah, you're my friends now. I'm following you guys. You guys are my friends now, right?
Great. Governor, you just said you already underestimated me once. You have no idea the things that we've done. Don't make the same mistake a second time. Just let us walk out. You walk out. You never see us in Far East again.
I don't think that's going to work. I'm going to present you an option. You can help us, or you can die here.
Gary, I changed my in my mind. Gary, I changed my mind. I want to kill him.
Okay. Quick question to the table master. Do I have my bone shield and sword, or do I only have one on me at any given time? I don't remember.
I mean, you could, in theory, have your shield on your back. I mean, we didn't quite discuss it, so for the sake of this, it's on your back, right? Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I guess for the sake of things, just as they're having this conversation, as nonchalant as pulling a giant thing off your back, I'm going to just kind of sheath my sword and pull out my bone shield here in the front and just get ready, just like ooh-doo-doo, while she's talking shit.
So the governor says,
"Oh,
go ahead."
I want to see what he has to say.
Go for it.
What's your proposition, man?
It's simple. I need you to kill the current Naga queen on her throne.
That sounds weirdly good.
Yeah. Where's this? What does that entail?
The South Spire throne is deep in the Naga swamps, and her clutch has grown tired of her, and so have we. Far East needs better relationships with the Naga. It will preserve life here and improve our standing. And so consider these Naga our friends. And so we would be assisting them in a change government.
Why haven't you been able to kill her yourself?
These kinds of tasks are quite complicated, and the wrong message could be sent if the wrong person were to do it. So that offer disappears by the count of 5.
The message you're kind of sending right now is that you can't kill her yourself.
I'm gonna play into my flaw here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate nobles. Yeah, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know how captains work on land here, but if they're trying to mutiny their captain, doesn't that mean that you can't trust him either?
Kid's got a point, Gov.
4. But yeah, Petra, definitely your fatal flaw is being triggered.
Yeah, I unless all 3 want to work with him, Petra wants to kill him.
Yeah.
Which I will say to Gary, unless you all want to work with him.
Listen, I'm about to break his fingers. He keeps counting at me like that. That's a temper thing for me.
I'll actually budge up in the doorway to make room so Nemain can get by. But as I'm doing it, I'm kind of rolling my shield shoulder, and in my mind to Petra, no matter what, make sure the kid gets out. Preferably you two.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, sure. I'll try. Hey, kid, we're gonna fight.
and yeah, I'll get ready to charge with Nemain.
No tact or secrecy whatsoever. Reaches into his bag,
I'm saying
pulls out his
blue.
little. Yeah, no, I'm saying
I attempt
Shira.
to be tactful.
Shira, with no secrecy whatsoever, reaches into his bag, pulls out his kite and shield, and starts strapping it to his arm. Okay.
God, I just roll my eyes and pull out my Vasha then.
The Naga speaks for the first time, and her voice is kind of like the sound of rolling thunder. The Naga, their eyes are a solid amber, and her voice just booms out into this room. The Clutch has chosen a new queen, but she refuses to get off. You don't understand what you trifle with. This would be the first of its kind, an alliance between the humans and the Naga. It could change history.
Solve your own problems then.
Everybody stop. Think about it for a second, because this is big. I'm not involved. Snake Lady's got a point, though. That governor guy keeps counting at me, and I'm going to break his arm with his fingers. But the point stands.
3.
I say we help you, and I point at the Naga. We'll help you, but we're going to kill him. And I
Fair.
point at the governor.
Yes. Like this plan.
So maybe the Naga won't kill us at least. What an interest.
2.
I'm in. Nope, that's it. Nope, he did it. Sheila, I can't. The main can't. She loses it, and the gauntlet is ready to go. And she charges forward towards the governor, fist first to his whole arm with that gauntlet.
Gotcha. So what you've ignited is this is a rage gauntlet. So what it gives you is it gives you a +4 strength temporary. So just write it off to the side, and a +10 temporary health. And your melee attacks do an extra 1d6 damage. However, at the end of 10 rounds, right, 10 actions, you pass out.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Okay, wait. So it's +4 strength to the gauntlet, and then what else?
You get a plus while you're in this 10-round window. You get a +4 strength.
Right.
You get a +10 health.
Nice.
All these are temporary, and then your melee attacks do an extra 1d6 damage, or the gauntlet itself does 2d6 + 2.
2d6 + 2. Okay, got it. And then 10 rounds, I pass out.
And then you pass out, and you can't make it. You don't get any chance to resist that. You just go down.
Nice. Okay.
And so the catch of it is, and it has 3 charges in it, and so you're using one of them now.
Got it.
And boom, something courses through your body, something you've never felt before. This is not adrenaline. This is something beyond it. The feeling is it rips through every piece. You can feel it down through your fingers and toes, the tips of your ears, the tip of your nose. Your teeth are shaking in your jaw, and you come with everything. All the fury that you only dreamed could exist is now in your hands. So roll 1d20.
Nine.
Okay, and then you get a +4 because what's your strength now?
My strength is currently a 10.
Okay, so that would take it to So that takes it to 14. So that gives you a +4 to hit in this instance.
Yep.
So you go with everything you've got. You swing forward, and right as your fist is about to connect, he steps back, and from his bracer, which seemed like his normal block bracer, spins this chitinous shield, and your fist slams into it, and he just slides back maybe 4 or 5 feet from the impact of this blow. He survived it, but he's not counting anymore. And at that, we're coming up on our break here.
All right.
And we will take our 15-minute break here and regroup.
All right. When we take our break, we do have a couple prizes here. Let me make sure I'm set up for the giveaway. So if you've already won giveaway one of the maps, what we're actually going to be giving away today. Wait, where is my? Sorry, we had some changes and some last minute stuff. But the map that we're giving away today is our special location map. It's printed on durable canvas. It's going to be beautiful. If you've already won one of these, please refrain. But if you're 18 or over, you're living in the U.S. or Canada outside of Quebec, go ahead and type just Asunder into the chat. And just give me 1 second, though, to make sure that's set up. Look for my cue in the chat. Because I got to make sure this... Actually, is Puck in the chat? Puck, are you in the chat? Is he there? Hello, hello? Puck, come in. Come in, Puck.
I don't think he's there. I don't see him in the listed people.
All right, that's fine. I'll have it set up right here. Hold on. Keyword. Keyword is Asunder. Okay. So just type the word Asunder. You can see it on the screen there. Into the chat. We'll be back in 15 minutes.
Woo!
All right, that's good.
So this thing is happening again. I'm happy to announce that all of April will be dedicated to the Bards! Specifically, the Bards.
No.
We don't
Yeah.
either. Yeah. No. I'm like, I didn't know where I was going. Let's.
So this thing is happening again. I'm happy to announce that all of April will be dedicated to the Bards! Specifically, the Bards for Bards charity. This event aims to raise funds for the Artist Relief Tree to help out performing artists who are affected by COVID-19 because they can't work because, pandemic and all that. So throughout the month, there are going to be a ton of live stream events on twitch.tv/bardsforbards and sometimes on mine, featuring various D&D content creators from all around the internet. And we'll be hosting events such as live group drawing, game shows, D&D one-shots, digital panels, video games, and much, much more. On top of this, there are stretch goals for the money raised that, if reached, the charity will be giving out goodies to you, the audience, such as giveaways, fancy special projects, and even a pleasant pat on the head. As for this little guy, Mischief has partnered with Bards for Bards for a special campaign, the Wizard Goblin Plush, where for each one purchase, a portion of the proceeds will go directly to the charity. In addition, if sales reach 10,000 goblins, Mischief has agreed to donate an additional $10,000 to the cause. And I know it would have been nice to have like a bard goblin for the bards for... Listen, planning doesn't work. I try my best. And if you don't have any money to donate or buy a plush, don't worry, you can still participate by joining in the Bards for Bards Art Challenge. Simply draw a bard of any kind and share it with the hashtag Bards for Bards on your preferred social media platform. And if you'd like your bard to be featured in a big showcase, email your bard to bardsforbardsofficial@gmail.com with the information listed in the description of this video. But how does drawing bards help with the charity? Well, for every bard submitted to the email, I, the Prince of Bards, will personally donate $5 per bard submitted. So get out there, you inspiring, charisma-casting bardic beauties. The world needs you now more than ever. Sing your songs, paint your canvases, show the world what it means to inspire as a bard.
You know what? There's probably a platform out there where we could pretty simply. There's got to be something open source for creating fighting games, right? We can make a Mercs of Mischief fighting game.
Look, we gotta come up with special moves. You can't just say it's a fighting game.
Well, all the special moves are built in. We just have to rip off all of WotC's IP.
I picture that Grubhub in the Forgotten Realms is delivered by a literal grub. And when you close the door, it hops up on 2 legs and dashes away.
Hooves Hub.
I don't
know what's better, the name or the silence that came immediately after.
I was thinking
come up to your window?
Fleet. Can you imagine an army delivering one like taco to your door?
I think that the Academy should corner the gig economy here.
I think it's Dimension DoorDash.
Dimension DoorDash?
Brayden, we can't hear you.
I think he said, "God damn it."
That seems like a very Braden.
Now
thing
he's
to say.
flailing about, even though we still can't hear
He's
him.
entering problem-solving mode.
He's cussing out something. Like, man, that was so easy.
I like when you like steal like a shitty truck from like some farm people.
Like
Fucking every cop in the county comes after you guys. But you like break out of a hospital. It's just like, well, I went over the bridge. They're gone now.
Like, seriously, Uzak, you should be ashamed of yourself. This is like the fucking easiest shit. You have been programming Monopoly games since 1992. Alright? This isn't difficult. How did you fucking whiff this so bad? No, like, this is fucking inexcusable. In fucking 2010.
Still frozen on my side. I'm playing with a bunch of fucking ghosts, and nobody can complete this auction. I'm looking at a fucking empty auction screen. And this is all fucking Ubisoft's fault. You fucking shit the bed so bad on a game that was mastered before the fucking Great Depression. Holy shit!
Ow, now I can't breathe.
Scratched the code. It ain't over yet. I've played my Silver Flame Ritual card, which places a +1/+1 counter on each creature I control. And if I play it with the Adamant cost, if at least 3 white mana was used to cast the spell, all of the creatures gain Vigilance as well, giving my token knight +1/+1 in Vigilance, along with both of my Basari lieutenants and my youthful knight. I'm doing the Yu-Gi-Oh thing. I place into play my Silverwing Squadron, a flying human knight. It has Vigilance, so it does not need to tap to attack. When the Silverwing Squadron's power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures I control, Silverwing Squadron, whenever it attacks, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with Vigilance, equal to the number of opponents I have. And that's you, Kaima!
Party pillows don't have to be weird.
They don't.
I know. They can be very weird. That's why I said they don't have to be.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're using a skeleton as a pillow, Skylar, what are you doing?
It's a It's a what?
It's a pile of bones. It's not a pillow.
It's a friend.
It is calcium at best.
Ambush! Push!
No, please!
Ambush! Push!
Hey.
What are you doing?
You stop.
Why don't we're close?
Hello, who would like really hard mozzarella stick? I found them on the table.
That's wooden plank, you idiot.
This mozzarella stick is good for you.
I touched. Let me touch your face.
Caress me, sir.
I'm trying to, but your face is too far.
I spilled bodies everywhere. But I do know the solution. There's a business called Penn's Catering. Feeding Hellspawn and getting bodies gone. Feeling swole.
Okay, I killed their healer. Good puppy. Good puppy. No,
Yes.
you need to ride this out to its final tragedy. Like
Guys, I've been talking to this dog for a while, and he's got some good ideas.
I have a technical question. How short is that T-shirt?
It's a crop top.
You.
It's a crop top. It's not lewd. I'm sorry my midriff is there. Don't shame me.
Are you a fucking roller derby chick in 1960s California? Why do you have a crop top?
Or alternatively, are you a volleyball dude in 1980s California?
The world is broken. Broken by the gods who gave it life, then abandoned it. We have been left to fend for ourselves, our divine essence bonding with the plants, which we reshaped into weapons, bonding with the sea, which then reshaped us. Next was the insects, and then the beasts of the land. We found remnants of the gods, chaos, the power to transform reality, but it was not meant for us to wield. The secret societies, with both noble and selfish goals, have tried to control it. Something has changed. Gaia has awoken from her slumber, and Asunder has begun to devour itself. The Naga have betrayed the Alliance. Demons flood the Black Isle, and the dead have begun to rise. Most deny the end is coming. We've seen the signs, cannot turn back. We are the Seekers, and we will find the answers wherever they take us. Our story can be your story.
right, so let's see. We've got a couple of winners here. Wild Wolf, you will be winning the book set that will be delivered along with the Kickstarter. The rewards of the Kickstarter rewards. So you'll get digital copies as well as a copy of the Seeker's Guide and the novel to help you learn more about the world. And the floating head, you've won our map. Wild Wolf, I think we already have your information. Shoot us a message in Discord with your email address so we can get you into the backer system. And yeah, the floating head, reach out to us either through a Twitch Whisper or in our Discord and get us your shipping information, and we will get today's special location map sent to you. But first, before we hop back into the action, let's take a moment to meet our players.
Petra.
Hello, I'm Arcady and I play Petra, and I also happen to be regular here over at Mercenaries of Mischief. So you can see me here every Sunday playing in our regular Sunday game of 5e with some of these other lovely people. You can also catch me on Friday nights over on our sister channel, Mom's Trash Bin, where our usual Sunday DM Puck plays through Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I get tipsy and make fun of him while he does it. It's a good time. If you want to come hang out on Friday nights over there, come poke fun at Puck with me. And sometimes other people show up too. Other than that, you can find me hanging out on my Twitter, which is Arcady Cosplay, Arkady Cosplay. I make cool things. I post pictures of my cat. So come hang out with me over there.
Noctum, fill us in.
It's me, Noctum Sky. You can find me on places such as Twitter and YouTube, but most of the time you can find me here. I'm here every Sunday night playing Warlock Penathan Wright. Have a lot of fun doing that. You can also catch me on Mom's Trash Bin on Tuesdays, and if you follow them on YouTube, they actually are boasting daily uploads right now, thanks to our DM. So he's got those coming out every day, so go check out Mom's Trash Bin for that. And if you want to see more of me, you can check out a little cooking series we have on the Mercs channel called Necronoms, where I attempt to cook things from the D&D Heroes Feast cookbook. I recently did salmon, and I misread the instructions, and I almost burned my kitchen down, according to John. So wasn't great, but it was a very entertaining. So go check that out if you want to see more from me.
And Autumn.
Hello. I am Autumn Ivy. You can pretty much find me across the board. If there's a social, I'm probably somewhere in it. linktr.ee/XX Autumn Ivy XX is the best place to find me. But to make it easier, just find me on Twitter. And I have a nice little cute link tree that'll take you everywhere you want to go, and probably some places that you don't. But I narrate, I voice act, I cosplay, you name it. I've probably tried to be good at it. I like to pick up heavy things just to put it down, and I hate when people count at me.
Nice. And then, John, tell us.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jonathan, also known as the Mad Maker, also the producer here at the Mercs of Mischief channel, back here pressing all the buttons and stuff. Also, apparently sometimes the cooking coach or fire chief, he splashing oil all over the place while he's got a high flame, and so, you know, between like the potential of grease fire, and he's like, oh yeah, the floor is all slippery, this is crazy. Like, OSHA would have shut him down. Anyways, we do all kinds of shows here. I play in some of them. I play on Sunday nights. And next Wednesday, be sure to stop in here because we have the series finale of season 1 of a show called Class Trip, which focuses on the students of the Avalon Knights Adventuring Academy venturing out onto their first adventure. They are going to be entering an epic boss battle. That show features Joe Cat, who you might know from the internet, as well as some other fantastic creators, including Jade Valkyrie, cosplayer you might know from Twitter, Rogue Uzu, a fantastic artist who actually did some of the art for that show, We also have Saber, who you might know as Angelo from previous seasons as Mercs of Mischief, and our professor for the season, who is Lilith, played by Dipper Dog. After that, there will be a week off, and then there will be another season of that starting up with some of those characters coming back, supposing they live, as well as some new people, some fantastic cosplayers and personalities and YouTubers and stuff joining. So be sure to check that out. If you're over on Twitch, check out our Discord so you can keep up on all the happenings. Check us out on Twitter, all that fun stuff. We'll get back to the game.
I go back to the game, and I'm Adam Lawson. You can find me at Failed Superheroes Club or at World of Asunder on Twitter. And where were we? Oh, that's right. Now, Autumn had just taken her new Rage Gauntleted fist and slammed it with everything she'd got into Graydon, the governor of Par. He's a very powerful individual. She couldn't resist her fatal flaw and slammed into his shield. You are surrounded. There are 5 Nagas, and they are tough ladies. They are the definition of tough ladies. Around, and then this mysterious guy with silver hair and this leaf cape. So, boom, you took your first action. You slammed Graydon with everything you've got. It wasn't enough to hurt him, but he knows who you are now. So all you guys get an action before it's going to flip over to the Naga and Graydon's turn. Petra, what are you doing?
Oh, geez. I'm probably going after the mayor then. Try to hit him around his shield arm with my Vasha. So got to remember how to do that.
So you're going to roll 1 die 20.
Okay.
And your strength, your Vasha, and use your agility or your strength for your bonus to hit.
Okay. 18 to hit.
Okay.
And
Nice.
then it is 1d6 plus 2 damage that I can do.
All right, so you leap.
4 damage.
4. So you leap alongside Numain. Her fist slammed into his shield. He's not seeing you, and you whip your Vasha, this spear with 2 blades, one on each side, and you slash right into him. You cut right through his wooden armor, and he felt that one.
Yeah.
Boom! He cries out. Now he's quite tough, and so he's far from really hurt. But he feels that. The Naga starts screaming, and their voices are like thunder, just boom, filling this room. Numain, what are you doing? Oh, sorry, Numain, you went. I'm sorry, Gary, what are you doing?
Well, I see them just rushing forward, and so I'm going to just kind of, Gary like bows back and kind of flexes out and gets into a defensive stance. So I'm initiating my utility ability, which is just defensive stance. So that'll give me a +2 to my defense rating for the next 4 hours. And as I'm doing this and getting ready for the next round, essentially, I'm going to look back over at the Naga and I'm going to be like, we're with you. We're against him. And there's like this just look of like, Like, I guess it's trying to persuade or intimidate both.
Are you trying to persuade them in some way? It can be done in an intimidating way, but you want to try and persuade them. Okay.
Yes.
So let's roll 1 die 20. You're trying to attack their intelligence with your intelligence. So roll 1 die 20 and adding the intelligence bonus you've got.
That is a nat 1, and I don't have an intelligence bonus.
Oh boy! So go ahead and roll 1 die 6 for your Bane. Just because this is a conflict. You're trying to persuade somebody who you're also just attacked.
That's a 2.
Okay. So you're at a -1. So that inspires generally the opposite reaction. When you get below 0, it's the opposite reaction. So she clearly thinks that you are against the Naga. You communicated just exactly what you didn't want to communicate with her. And you've shored up your shield, you've centered your chi, you're ready for a fight, and so are they. Tara, what's happening?
I can spot an animal that's about to attack. So if the Naga looks like they're now aggressive against us, I'm going to leap at one. So, and I would say, if we're still all in kind of like, is this a smooth place or is this climbable?
It's climbable, for sure.
All right, yeah. So there's going to be kind of like a scurry and then an overhead leap to just come knuckle dusters down at one of these, the Naga, whichever one looks like it's about to attack Grandpa.
Okay. Okay. So you're coming down, and so that one is the lead Naga, the captain of them there. So go ahead and roll 1d20.
Okay. These knuckle dusters are marked as lethal or deadly ×3. Does that change anything?
So you're gonna roll 1d6 plus 3 on your damage.
Okay.
That's what the deadly plus 3 is.
Okay. My d20 is 14.
Okay, and do you have any strength or agility bonus to that? Is there a finesse weapon? What's your agility?
Both of them are +1. So yeah, that'll be a 15.
Okay, so boom, you slam into that Naga, you sneak past it, roll 1d6, let's see what you do.
All right. I do 2, then you said +3, so that's 5 damage. I also have an ability called Exhaust Enemy. So when I hit, I make a trigger attack with strength or agility, and if it succeeds, they're fatigued.
So it actually works the opposite. When they hit you,
got it. Okay.
Then you exhaust them, right?
All
like you're Rocky there. The more Ivan Drago hits you, the awesome. Weaker he gets.
So yeah, 5.
So boom, you leapt up, you gave everything you got, you slammed into her, but boy, her bones, it was like punching a stone wall. You delivered the damage, but she just head turns to the side. She looks right back at you, cracks the neck. She has only yet begun to fight. Boom, it's now their turn. All right. So, Autumn, what's your defense?
My defense is a 9.
Okay. So one of the Nagas to the right of the captain, her name is Reyna, the captain, she whips out her tail and it wraps around you, and has you constricted. It's starting to squeeze the life out of you. So you have to fight against it. You have to make a strength challenge roll against her strength to try and break free from this, or you just keep staying in this. So you're currently, that gives you an affliction, which is you are grabbed, right? And you are grabbed and you are impaired. So you do anything now with 1 bane.
Okay.
So it's choking the life out of you. This is a strong lady. Boom. So the next, what is Arcady? What is your defense?
14.
Right.
Yes, 14.
Okay. So 2 of the Naga tails lash out at you. You're ducking, diving underneath these things, and then the captain, her tail wraps right around you, and you take 4 points of damage. And Autumn, you should have taken 3 points of damage just from the initial crunch. But you can feel your ribs just go pop as she's wrapped right around you. You're also grabbed and impaired, and you are being constricted by this Naga's tail. They are not messing around. Okay, so Graydon, he backs up from this fight. He takes a step back, and he just shakes his head, and he walks over to the wall, and he pulls down this massive living cannon, right? It has a backpack and a shoulder mount that fits to this huge arm. It looks like it shoots a thorn about this, as big as a watermelon out of it, and he starts connecting it to him. And this is his symbiont side. You can see it start to come to life, and it starts to latch into him, and he's preparing this. And when it gets ready, it's going to be ugly. All right. So Reyna is screaming out, that's the leader of the Nagas, for you guys to surrender. And it's back to you, Autumn.
Question, because obviously the Naga have their own language, but they're still technically part beast. Does my beast speech apply to the Naga?
It doesn't. Because unlike a traditional beast such as a bear or a dog, they're actually intelligent, sentient, fully intelligent creatures like a human.
All right, because this is a tight fit. So, what? Gary is still in his defensive position. Shira's fighting.
You and Petra. Yeah, you and Petra are wrapped up.
Okay.
Shira, just punched one of them in the face, and Gary's getting ready for hell to come to him.
So I'm gonna try to. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm. If you want to try and break free, you're gonna you'll make an attack with your strength against this Naga's strength to try and break out.
So I have a bone dagger. Am I able to get my hands towards my belt line where the bone dagger would be?
Essentially, that's what you would need to do. Is you would need to break out of it.
Yeah.
To get the dagger, right? Like essentially, it's like imagine you're trapped up like this.
Yeah.
Right. Wrapped around you, and so to get another weapon, you have to have you have to be able to break some of this constriction.
Let's give it a go.
Okay, so you're trying to hit 13 or better.
Dice gods, be kind to me. 3.
The 3. All right, so you give everything you've got. Oh, you get the +4 even because of the rage. You're now on round 2, by the way. You give everything you've got, and this Naga is even stronger, and she just squeezes tighter in on you here. So you take. Well, you'll take it at the end of the round. All right. So Petra, what are you doing?
Well, I'm a better talker than Gary, and I'm an agitator, and the captain is the one who has me wrapped up. So if there's any Naga to talk to, I think it would be that one. And so I'm going to take my action not to take a swing. I'm going to talk to her and say, we're not lying. We have not attacked you. But he's already going to take out one group of Naga. What makes you think you won't be next? And you saw how fast he turned on us after we helped him. He's your real enemy, not us.
So roll 1d20 with 2 Banes. Or sorry,
Can I make an
Banes.
argument that it would be 1 less Bane because I am an agitator?
Yeah, so you'd only have 2.
2 Banes?
Yep.
Oh my god, math. 18 minus 3. 15.
15. She says, how stupid of a human you are. Did you not understand? We are recruiting him to help us overthrow the queen. How dumb do you think you are?
I think I'm rather clever, actually.
And for us to believe that you are now on our side when the first thing you do is attack with everything you've got.
I attacked him with everything I've got. We offered you a deal and we're not lying.
I did.
I haven't hurt you and I'm not fighting you right now.
She said, unfortunately, that negotiation is done. We've sided with Graydon. So if you're siding with us, you're siding with him, or we kill you now.
Well, now I know how stupid you are. I'm not going to pull any punches with the Nagas then.
Okay. So, all right, Nocton, what are you doing? Gary, what's Gary doing?
So, oh gosh, Petra and oh my god, my mind's blanking. My other friend, the super swole friend.
Maine.
Nemain. They're both wrapped up by 2 different Naga, correct?
That's correct, yep.
And then we've got the governor over there charging up what looks like a cannon. So I'm going to put faith in my team now that I've got my defense up, and I'm just going to go run at the governor, and I'm going to try to shield rush him so he can't charge this. Now, let me ask you, would this be an unbalancing attack to try to get him to stop charging this up? Would I be driving into him? Because I would imagine it'd either be that or a driving attack, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I would call it.
Okay.
So what'll happen is, go ahead.
So the driving or the unbalancing? I know it is a bane either way.
Yeah. So the driving attack, because essentially you're trying to I guess you're right. You're doing both at the same time because you're trying to slam into him to unbalance him. So we'll just we'll call it an unbalancing just for the sake of this.
So we'll roll this d20 as I charge him with my bone shield. That is a nat 20, and here is your bane. That is a 6, so that is a 14 rush at him.
Right, and do you have any bonuses to strength?
Oh, I do. That's right. My strength is I think it's a 13. My strength is a 13, so that's actually 17 total then, right? Yes. Math.
Gotcha. So you plow into him with everything you've got. Your shield slams him. You plow right into him and you knock him through the air. In the middle of his bonding, the thorn cannon slips out of his hand and the bonding is not complete. You sort of scored a successful hit and roll 1d6.
All right.
For your damage.
Boop. That is a 5.
Boom. You slam into him for another 5 points of damage. Boom, and he is feeling it. He is a mess. You knocked him that hard.
Get up, coward.
All right. Hurrah. What are you doing?
I kind of look around to make sure okay, yeah, no, we're still fighting these things. All right. And so I will, last one was overhead, so I feel like I'm crouched down now. I will come up with a punch basically where a kidney would be if it was human. So about where snake part meets lady part. Knuckle duster right back to the side.
Yep, roll 1d20.
That is a 12, so it is 13.
So 13. So you give it everything you got. You slam with everything you got, and you slam it right, and you hit right into her scales. Boom, and your knuckle dusters bounce right off them. All right, the two nagas that have both Nemain and Petra, they squeeze again. You guys you take 4 points of damage. And I want you guys to make a strength check right now because you're starting to pass out. 5. Oh. Nemain? Oh. This isn't going well for you guys. The world is starting to get dark on you. You can start to feel your ribs crushing in. You can't seem to breathe. That rage inside of you is screaming to get out, and yet you are just trapped in it, and the world starts to go dark for you. Yeah, you guys are facing the music here. You are fading into oblivion. So... So, Shara, the naga you were just attacking, she whips her tail around you. She's got your arms trapped up, and the second naga to her right whips her tail and locks you up on both sides, and they're crushing you. Take 6 points of damage, and make a strength check. They're trying to knock you out.
Okay. That'll be a 20 total.
Thank God.
20 total. So that little 16-year-old body of yours, it's seen some more rugged days than the rage-infused Nemain, and you resist it. Go ahead.
Is this where exhaust enemy comes into play?
Bingo. So now you can take a triggered action and try and exhaust them.
Okay.
So go ahead and make an attack roll because they've attacked you. Right. So you can make a triggered action. Yep.
Okay. So that attack, I'm just adding strength or whatever. That'd be a 13.
With the strength bonus, is 13 or with the strength bonus, it's 14.
With the strength bonus, 13.
Okay, so you exhaust both the naga, and they have now become fatigued. And this is what a survivor does. You start laughing as they squeeze. You start going crazy and laughing, and the harder they squeeze, you seem to just breathe even bigger. And the two naga find themselves just exhausted and fatigued, holding on to you. Make a strength check right now because they've now both become fatigued.
Okay. Quick question: would sea serpents have their own language, or would they just talk psychically, or?
They don't have a language that you could. Sure. You got a language that you could try and replicate with them. Give it a go.
Basically, like in whatever I believe to be sea serpent tongue. I just look back at them and I'm just like, I've been hugged by bigger snakes. My strength check is 11.
Okay, so and what's your strength check is 11? So you slip out from both of their tails there, and both of the two naga are fatigued, so they have one bane for anything they try to do for the next round. This is why survivors are cool, is that the harder they hit you, the harder it is for them to hit you again. All right, and so we're back over to Graydon, and he just throws a haymaker at you. What's your defense, Noctum?
So I forgot, and you'll have to forgive me. The bone shield. Oh. What was the defense rating on that? I couldn't remember if it was a regular.
It's plus 2. It gives you +2. Yes, at a +1, it gives you +2.
Okay, so that's a +2, and my defensive stance is a +2. So I go from an 11 to a 15 total.
So he gives you everything he's got. Slams at you with his. He's got the symbiotic cannon halfway wrapped around his arm. He's trying to slam it into you. You just duck behind that shield and you just smile. This is what you were made to do. All right. So next turn. Let's have Petra and Domain roll one more strength check really quickly.
11.
17.
Okay. So you don't slip any further. You have one more of those, and you'll get back to being able to fight. But you are no longer sinking into the abyss of despair. All right, and okay. What are you doing, Domain and Petra? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm gonna try to break free one more time.
Same.
Okay. Roll 1d20, both of you.
13.
16.
Okay, boom. So both of you break free from this constricting tail. Nice. Gary, what are you doing?
So since Gary's got the forge link with Petra, he knows this just happened, and he just smiles for putting faith in them to get out of that on their own.
I'm real hurt, though, so all you're getting back is like...
So
this dude's just on the ground in front of me trying to get a hit on me, or did he get back up?
You guys are swinging at each other.
Okay.
You're in a melee, yeah. You're in a scuffle.
So, what would it take for me to essentially get him in the equivalent of like a headlock, or just like where he can't get out with
the 2 banes?
Okay.
You're trying to attack his strength, and you're gonna essentially try to grab him.
Okay. So just a D20 strength check with 2 banes.
Yeah. Well, you're attacking his strength.
Yes. That is a 20. So I guess we will see. That is a 3. That is a 6. So that is 6 minus 3 is 3 because I have 3 plus in strength. So
no. So for the 2 banes, you just take the highest of them. So you just take just the 6.
Sorry, I was adding my strength modifier to
Oh, yeah.
I was doing complicated math when I should have made it easy, but it's a 17 total after the bane.
Boom. So you've got this guy headlocked. You have reversed it. This is in wrestling, they call this a reversal. The 2 ladies were strapped by tails. Now you have Graydon locked up.
And yeah, I'm just like, call him off, or I will snap you in 2.
All right, let's go ahead and see. Graydon calls out, Raina, I think it's enough. So Raina, she whirls on you, looks at him. Graydon, you're weak. You're not bleeding near enough. You're not bleeding near enough to quit. He looks over at you guys. He's out of the picture. Help me save the South Spire clutch.
Yeah, it's almost like that's what we were proposing from the beginning. Of course he's weak.
In Forge Lake to
She said, don't push it. I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, in Forge Lake to Petra, he's like, don't die.
Look, the kid's still alive too. We're doing okay.
Good.
Are we stopping?
Right. So.
Yeah, we're stopping.
We're stopping.
So Reyna slithers on over to where you are and grabs Graydon. You know, you've got him onto it too. And she hoists him up and says, let's have a discussion between adults here. And she sort of tosses him down amongst the shelves. He sort of fumbles over and rolls and gets up and he runs out of the hall.
To the other Naga, I'm just like, hey, that was a neat fight. You guys got real. Those scales are tough. This is like, are those made out of like bones or like rocks or what? And kind of like tapping them.
The Naga, she's holding her axe. She just wants to so bad. She would just give anything. And Rana just gives a look. Hey, hold. She just wants to kill. She just wants to kill you. All right. So let's make good on your promise. There is a meeting of the queen and her two counselors and an open forum with the other Naga. She needs to go down on her throne so that we can do this the old way. End her on her throne before a crowd. However, she's surrounded and protected, and I need you to go in first while we hold off the guards so that then I can assume the throne. It's high risk. I risk. But it's either that or we kill you now. Because you've already said this is what you were going to do. And now we've lost our help from Graydon.
I don't think you could kill us.
And I look at the others just to make sure no one's itching to say anything. We accept. Just to make sure we get out in the end if we can, and we'll help. We'd like to see a new, more peaceful time between the Naga and the rest of the people here.
Well, let's see if you can get out alive. Her cohorts essentially have surrounded you guys, right? They're standing in a circle around you. You guys are in the center. Their axes are out. They mean business, clearly. She says the way it works out is the South Spire throne has 3 spires that rise up from the floor of the swamp. On the center spire is the queen, and then her 2 counselors on the others. So as they speak, it's open before the rest of the Naga who are down at the base and listen in. I know the passage that will get you inside of the spire so that you can get to the top of it to take out the queen before the rest of the Naga invade. And it's when you do that's when I will come in, make my presence known, and say, I'm the new leader, and I will rally the Naga behind me. Very simple.
Are you sure they will rally behind you? Because that's a big risk for you too.
I have my supporters. I'm putting it all on the table. But I need someone else to take out the queen so that I can rise up and show that I have an alliance with the humans, the thing that she does not have. And she continues to agitate.
Can she be taken out discreetly?
It is not our way. If she's taken out discreetly, it's a show of cowardice. What the cowards do. It needs to be done before all of the Naga, all of the witnesses, so there can be no misunderstanding what took place.
If you step forward after we do this, will your supporters ensure to back us so we don't just get jumped by every Naga there?
I can ensure that.
Okay, but assurance doesn't mean our ass. So what is your assurance? We want this paid and verified in blood, friend. Like, your assurance
the only assurance is that we don't kill you now. This is a risk. This is the changing of political power. It cannot be done easily. There's risk. There's a price. But you either do it now, you know far too much to walk out of here any other way.
God, I hate politics.
I have a question. Are we gonna be able to like go in there like before there's anyone in there? Is it like we go to like make a trap?
There is a potential of that. It's tricky, yes. The council meeting is on the morrow.
What's her weakness? Because you guys are all pretty tough. Is there somewhere we should be aiming?
No, unfortunately not. Denabe, the current queen, is a fierce warrior. There is no weakness in her fighting. She keeps 2 male escorts with her as a show of her defiance, and they're used for pleasure whenever she desires it. So that is her weakness, that she has those 2 male escorts instead of 2 warrior escorts.
Are they happy there? Would they turn on her?
I don't know that the males we think about their happiness so much. And I don't know that negotiating with them is so easy. But the real thing is you need to take her out in combat on the top of the spire.
All right.
Can she be poisoned?
Naga are difficult to poison. It is our snake-like blood.
It is a spire. We do have 2 strong people.
What if it was like a bigger snake? Just poison.
Here's what I'm thinking. So we've got the 2 boys that we already know are not fit warriors. I doubt there'll be an issue. We can use entrapment, which Shiraz's very good at, right, buddy? Yeah, we're good at that, huh?
At trapping animals and stuff, and snakes sometimes.
Okay, all right, but that's good. That's good stuff. Okay, so we can trap her to at least get her mobility down. If we can stop her mobility somehow, we've got a shot at being able to take her out fairly and in combat without her to, menfolk littering around.
And if we take her out before anyone else, everyone else might stop attacking too.
Right.
Or we'd gain more allies on our side. So focus fire.
Yes.
So just to be safe, I say to the Naga chief, look at the chair before you sit down, just in case there's a trap.
I understand. I have no doubts. There won't be much sitting. Yes, I will be very careful. Thank you for that. Does he always have to do the talking? Does he always have to talk?
If you want the rest of his skills, you've got the talking.
Oh, fine. I have a living skiff that can take you downriver, that will get you there faster. On the morrow is the council. Going over land might be a bit treacherous, but over water you can get there faster. We will go through the Naga way, go through the Naga passageways through the swamps, and I can show you the way in.
Do you have any healing? You hit some of us pretty hard, and I think it's in your best interest to have us on the top of our game.
We don't deal with the weak.
I'm still standing.
I'm assuming you can shrug it off and keep moving.
All right. I have some fungus and mushroom healing in my gear. Can I split that between Petra and I?
Yes. And also,
All
too,
right.
you guys know that you have in your abilities, and you haven't used it yet today, where you can, where you can regain your healing rate in health.
Perfect.
If you look at your talents, and so that would regain 1/4 of your health.
Perfect. I would.
1/4. That's math. Crap.
And I mean, we are here, and I'm looking around, and Gary kind of starts to look excited. We might as well make sure we're ready. And like, he's already looking around the room, seeing what all this living gear is about. Did that guy drop that cannon when we kicked his shit in and he left? Or did he run out of here with it?
He got the cannon on. It was half on him, half off him. He drug it out of the room.
Ah, dang. All right.
Well, what else is here?
Yeah, what else have we got in this basement of living weapons?
And the Naga, she looks at you. I would pick something quick. Graydon is certainly going to have alerted everyone else. You'll need to be getting out of here immediately.
All right. And I guess, yeah, just grab the first baddest looking thing I can find.
Yeah.
You've got a mask. You've got what looks like some sort of thorn spitter. You have something that looks like a whip, but with like 6 or 7 different vines coming out of it. What do you think of the 3?
Personally, if I'm reaching for something, I'm reaching for the mask. That way, maybe I can protect my identity as a member of the Bone Army. And also, I saw some ridiculous masks last time I fought mask people, so I have no idea what this does, but it's probably good.
Gotcha. Boom. You grab the mask, slam it on your face. Boom, and you can feel this massive increase of perception just as you put it on.
Oh.
It's as if you can hear things far away. Your vision becomes incredibly clear. Essentially, this mask is a mask of perception. It gives you a +2 into any perception roll, and essentially you get a +2 to any perception. You're much more alert.
Okay, +2 to perception, and I'll tell them what it does in case there's someone else who's like, oh, that'd be better for me. So I'll be like, I can see and hear everything way better than I should.
And the Naga, Raina says, we need to go.
All right.
Just the healing thing, is that just something that everybody can do once a day, or do I have to use an ability? I have to shake it off.
You have an ability. So you shake it off. You could use one of your shake it offs if you wanted to heal. Yeah. You're the only one who can do it twice a day.
So, yeah, I'm like ushering as I'm going. I'm like, let's get to the skiff. And I'm like, if you 2 want anything, grab it. Let's go. Or 3. Well, some of you
I
have
grab
stuff.
the thorn whip as I go.
Great. You grab the thorn whip, and you pick this thing up, and it's an intelligent whip.
Ooh.
Smart whip. Oh, did he freeze up on us?
Yep.
Oh no.
No rules, no ref.
No.
All right. Well, I mean, I assume we're running out to the skiff. I can drive this. It's been a while. I know how to drive one of these.
Does the Naga know how to drive it though?
I think it's best we leave this up to the Naga to drive, considering that they know the path.
Oh, they're taking us? Okay, I thought we were going like.
Yeah. No, we get to ride, man. We gonna ride.
All right. Let's ride out.
Are y'all like, as if we get a moment where they're not right over us on the skiff, Gary will definitely take everybody and be like, is everybody okay? I know that was rough.
Oh, we lost him. We lost the boy. Now everything's shuffled around.
Oh no.
Wait, who's Adam?
I'm Adam now. And
Oh,
you're
no.
Okay, so
Oh my gosh, there's 2 of you.
And none of me.
yeah, I was not prepared to fill more spaces, but that we could do it. So yeah, if this was a game we were all more familiar with, we could just kind of roll with it.
Also, if it wasn't like a pivotal next step moment.
Right? We're not exactly sure what happens next, but you know, I can at least try to fill in the space here so I'm not in 2 places.
Let's talk about this wild ride that just happened.
Right.
So we're riding on this boat. We know that these naga are surrounding us. The water, of course, is turning into swampland very quickly. We know we are SOL and JWF. So I assume we're talking amongst ourselves at this point. As we are conversing, what is being said?
This mask is not as great as I thought it was going to be. I'd much rather, I don't know. Does anybody else like seeing further? Because I'd rather just have my bracer that makes me stronger that I normally use. Because this is just, I can hear them talking shit about us on the other side of the boat, but that's about it.
I mean,
well,
I hear it a little.
I have multiple microphones up. I mean, if you want me to sneak around and stuff, because I can I have a different mask, and he pulls out. He has it's kind of like a phosphorescent, glowing sort of jellyfish looking thing. If you're familiar with a deep mask, will this help me breathe underwater and stuff? But I can't do 2 at a time, so I sneak in and switch it out. But yeah, I'm good at sneaking. I'm good at climbing, swimming.
That might be, Gary, beneficial to give to Shira if that's the case, because he's right. Not to mention the capability of crawling on walls would be a benefit with a mask that increases perception.
Listen, kid, I believe in you. Here you go.
Okay.
And he hands him the mask.
Oh, wow. This place is real loud. Guys, can you hear the bugs? I can hear the bugs. Can you hear Mom?
Okay, sweetie. Listen, what is the boop boop? What is that?
Oh, it's Mom. And he pulls out a stone jar, and you can hear the heartbeat gets louder as he pulls it out of his bag, and you just hear a slow thumping beat. Yeah, Dad always kept it with him. He said it was Mom. And then the shipwreck. Couldn't find any of them, but now I have it because I found it, even though I couldn't find it.
Sorry there, I had a full internet meltdown here on this side.
It's okay, I was just introducing them to Mom.
Perfect.
I'm over here. What in the name of Edgar Allan Poe?
Same! I'm wow.
Shit, well, there weren't a lot of people to talk to, but, I found her, and so I kept her. And then I would talk to her sometimes. But then the serpent that wrecked the ship was like, hey, you seem pretty cool. Or not like that. It's not quite like that. It's more like thinking in pictures. But, and he gave me this. And he pulls out a little vial. He was like, if they said that that poison isn't really gonna help with them, but if there's someone else you need to poison, you can put it on knives, you can just feed it to them, or whatever.
Okay.
Nope, that's good. We're gonna hold on to that. Good. Yeah. It's good.
Okay. He puts the stone jar back in his bag as well.
Yeah, we just kind of played as though we had gotten on the ship and started heading that way to set the natural progression.
Yes, thank you. I'm not sure what happened there. So you guys are cruising through the swamps. They call this a swamp rider skiff. Its mouth is much wider than the ones at sea because it's got to churn through all kinds of the junk in the swamps. And there is a seafarer that is driving this thing for you. Though I think for you, Shirai, you're quite at home seeing this skiff happen here. And it is zipping through these swamp waters here. Leaves are strafing past you. And the one thing that keeps dawning on you is that other man in the room with Graydon. He seemed to have just disappeared during the conversation. Almost as if vanished in an impossible way. But you're on your way there. The council meeting is imminent, and where he went or what that is, you don't know. As you're racing down the waters, racing through the waters, it's getting narrow. It's getting much more narrow as it becomes maybe just arm's length apart. There's swamp water spraying out behind you. It's far from quiet, but you're slithering through the swamps. And as you the foliage becomes much more dense and it gets darker. It's almost like it's night, even though it's only in the evening. And it's getting darker and darker as the swamp, the foliage gets thicker and thicker over top. You are entering into Naga swamps, right? And there is this endless flow of firebugs that fill the sky, that fill the air, that create this almost firework display of insects flittering through the air. And some of the plants become phosphorescent, and you can see the big gaping mouths of the carnivorous plants that are on the sides of the waterway. And this is a place you, as a child, are told you should never go, and now you are here.
I occasionally catch a bug out of the air and eat it.
Nice. There's a little burning inside you as you digest the chemicals in that bug, but it's nothing lethal. But you certainly feel it on the way down.
Bright ones are spicy.
So the seafarer leading, manning the skiff, looks back over their shoulder and says, "We're getting close." And the plan is that you are informed on the ride here is that you're getting into place, and that Reyna and her team would already be set up on the other side. So there is a tunnel. It's in the water. You have to dive into water to get into the entrance. And this is the yuckiest of the yuck. This is Leech City. So you come to the edge, and you can see you're approaching a Naga settlement, right? Which it looks like these just mounds of vines and vegetation with these holes cut into it. And those are like their cubbies, if you will, that they live inside of. And there's just an ocean of them out there. And the thought of how many Naga are waiting in these swamps is more than a little frightening. And this seafarer takes you to the edge of the water here, where it's just going to fill out into this mucky marsh-like expanse where all the homes are. And he points into the water and he says, "It's down there. It's maybe 5-7 feet under the water. There's an entrance there. It's rimmed with a red moss. And that's the way in. It'll lead you. It's a narrow passageway. It was built for a Naga to slither down, and not for a human. So you'll be crawling down it. And that will lead you inside of the spire and out onto the top. It's an escape route for the queen to essentially eject if she needs to, but you're going to be using it the opposite direction and going in.
Is it
he looked at
the whole way?
Not the whole way. It's hard to tell what's in there. I've never been there myself. No one really in their right mind has been there themselves, but it should open up, because the Naga are not amphibious. They can't breathe water. So it was built for a Naga, so you should be able to get through.
Does anyone have a rope?
Oh, fine.
Okay. Can I have an end?
Give him an end.
I'll grab an end of rope, wrap it around my hand, throw on my deep mask, and dive in.
I give the other end to Gary.
Okay.
I'm not strong.
Gary's gonna initiate what is it? Endure environment, I believe. The thing that makes it so I don't have to breathe underwater, because hot damn, that comes in useful.
Yes. So you no longer need to breathe underwater for the next 10 minutes. You're good to go.
Mm-hmm. I got my deep mask. Somebody's my charge of being able to breathe water with that thing. And I'll
describe us what this deep mask looks like and what it does.
It's basically, it's kind of like, has sort of a rigid frame, almost like a conch shell, or like pieces of a conch shell. And then the bulk of it is kind of these two like bulbous, glowing jellyfish looking bits that sort of wrap around it. It's phosphorescent. It also allows me to, breathe water and poison and all kinds of stuff. At the moment, I'm going to be using it to breathe water. So yeah, he basically just like straps this
goopy, glowing thing onto his face, and it kind of like, as he just dives in and starts swimming over, just like, you think, like, I don't know why people are worried about, like, they don't want to swim under the hole. It's like lots of good passages. You can find good stuff in underwater passages.
Nice. So you dive off. This is some janky-looking swan dives. You smash into the water, and the glow from the deep mask reveals as you're swimming down. He was right. About 7 feet under, there's the moss-rimmed hole. You would never have seen it if you didn't know. There's some vines and tatters around it. You would have had to comb this swamp in a way that you could never have found it. But there it is. You plunge in.
Yep. I'm going to go in, and I'm going to try to, I don't know how long this vine is, but I'm basically just going to go until I get to a part where there's air, and then when I get to that spot is when I'll, like, tug so that they have a sense
How
of
much you got? You got 50 feet on the vine? Is that what you got?
I forget what it is. I wrote it down somewhere.
We'll call it that. We'll call it that for now. Yeah.
If the keeper says that's what it is, that's what it is.
Yeah, it's the usual vine length, the standard vine length. Yeah. So, boom, you're slithering through this, and you're at home in the water, Sherrod. This is what you were made for. You're a seafarer. You're there in the water. You're slithering through this. And for a way, you almost feel like, this is kind of fun. You could hang out in here for a little bit. The glow to this tube. And he was right. It is not that big. It's maybe, 1 yard and change across. This tunnel is enough for a naga to slither through, and you may be going 10, 20 feet, and then your head breaks above the water, and you can see the tunnel kind of, which was down in the water, rises up. It takes it over to an edge, and it's all air, at least as far as you can see.
Oh yeah.
You give the jerk on the rope.
Tug on the rope.
Okay, so I guess we have a way through. Do y'all want me to pull you with the rope once I get to the other side? Because I don't have to worry about breathing. Looking at the other two.
I'll hold my breath and just follow the rope then, because I don't think I need pulled. I'm fast. I have 14 speed, so I bet I can kick my way fine.
Yeah, it's not a crazy distance. It's 20 feet. It's like a pool, it's like a small pool across.
If Gary's got one end and Shira has the other end,
I imagine you pulling out the rope, and it's like halfway before you feel the tug.
Yeah, so I'll just dive in and follow.
And then with Nemain, is Azrael in the sky, and is she around, or is she back at camp?
So Mam is treading the water right now, but she's doing so quietly next to the boat frame. And then Azrael, I would say, is surfacing up at the top, keeping an eye on everything.
Gotcha. So in the tunnel, obviously, Mam is not going to fit in the tunnel, and sitting in this swamp is a likely recipe to die. She could probably wait on the skiff or on the swamp side while you're in the tunnel. And then Azrael above.
I would feel super safe if Mam was under coverage near the side of the swampway, so that she was a quick get out in the event that something goes wrong.
How could that possibly happen? Okay, great.
Yeah.
So Mam is waiting. She tucks into the foliage. She's not dumb. She knows how to get hid, and she knows that all of her animal instincts are saying, I'm in a dangerous place. So the four of you are slithering through that tunnel, treading water, and boom, you pop above the surface, just like Shara, and you're crawling through that tunnel, making your way down. And as you're getting farther, why don't you go ahead and make a perception check, everybody?
Five minus
3
1 is a 4.
Real perceptive. 3.
What about Nemain? What about you? What kind of perception check you get?
Save us, Nemain.
Oh wait, you gave me that mask, right?
I did hand him the
mask
between.
Well, you already have the deep. Oh, I guess you take the deep mask off.
So yeah, I switched it out so I could be sneaky spy man.
+2 perception, yeah.
+2? Okay, well, I mean that still only gives me.
Okay, Nemain, what about you?
We thought we'd be safe. Hold on, I messed up my roll because I got distracted when that happened. Okay, wait, no, that's a 6. Hold on. Okay,
it's 1 die 20, yeah.
10.
Okay, and go ahead. And do you have any perception bonuses? Do you have any intelligence bonus beyond 10?
I don't think so. My perception's a 10. It doesn't show anything.
So, so no, you would get no bonus. So as and go ahead and roll. So you guys are cruising down this tunnel here, and you start to, as you're digging deeper, and who's leading the pack here?
If it's a narrow tunnel, I'm in front still.
Sure. Okay. So Troy, you're digging through this, moving as fast as you can down this tunnel. It's a full hands on elbows, knees, crawl down it. And your shoulders are bumping into these things that are quite soft and gushy, and something's changed. It's no longer the dirt and rock that you've been having. Boom, boom, boom. You get farther down in it. The rest of you start feeling the same thing. And right as this happens, in the main, you start to realize as you're holding up the end, you're like, wait a minute. Those look like spore pods. And as you take another couple, right as you say that, boom, one of the spore pods bursts from your shoulder that you just plowed right into, Gary. Boom, and it causes the next one behind you to blow up and blow up and blow up. And there's a small series of explosions of these spore pods. Boom, 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 boom. And
Who's directly behind me?
Down the tunnel.
I came in second. I'll say I am.
I reach back and I slap my deep mask onto your face.
Cool.
Nice. So boom, your deep mask goes on your face. Everybody roll 1d20 here. You're going to make a strength check here.
18. What does the mask do again?
It says it has a it lets you, it filters poison. And it's a rank 2 poison filter. So I don't know what that does.
Okay.
That's a 6
all right
total.
Is this an affliction? Because I believe I have a boon to resist afflictions.
It's not an affliction. This is what's happened is they've exploded. And from this burst of it, this gas, everybody takes 3 points of damage, except for Gary, he takes 6. Boom, you get blasted, and you can just feel it shred your shoulder as it happens. And boom, there's a partial cave-in the tunnel behind you guys. And as you plowed right into this landmine that you didn't even know was there and was growing in this tunnel. Boom, and it echoes out like you can't believe. The gas is in the air. It's hard to breathe. Petra, though, is doing great. And Gary, this lack of need to breathe is really helping you out here. But Devil, you can all feel the pain and burn from that blast. And what you've done is you've shut the tunnel for the way back out.
Cool.
If we succeed and the Naga are on our side, they will walk us out the front door. We just gotta kill the queen.
Real easy.
So you guys keep hustling down the tunnel, and it starts to shift up and up and up, and you realize you're in the spire. You're going up and up and up to the spire, and you can feel it. You're now, instead of crawling on your hands and knees, you're now climbing your way up inside of this spire, and you can see it starts to level off, and you can see the way out. And as you look out, you can see these massive trees with huge fungi growth on them, mushrooms that, this big littered all over them. There's a glow in this phosphorescent ring of spires and trees and mushroom, and there's a waterway that wiggles through it. And I don't know if, John, if you can bring up the South Spire map.
Yeah, I do have that to bring up right here. It's up on stream.
Cool.
Got it. Nice. So you can see what's happening. You guys are essentially in this spire that's at the top, right, where it has the throne. And you guys look out, you see the other 2 spires, and you see on the top of them 2 regal Naga. Both of them, they're the same size and poise as Reyna. Huge, beautiful bone axes on their backs, and their hands are extended in the air, almost as if there's a crowd down below that you can now start to see glimpses of these amber eyes glowing. And there must be at least 50, maybe 100 Naga down below, which is that's an unfriendly batch of snakes to be thrown into. And you can't see directly above you just yet, but clearly you're in that spire. And those on the tops of those 2 other spires are the queen's counselors. And they're debating their relationship with the Vithic, who run the mines in the north, and there's some rumblings about that. There's talk about treaty with the humans, and there's some rumbling, and you can hear a voice above you yelling, there will be no treaty with the humans. And these are the topics, and the Naga down below are shouting out. It's a kind of a chaotic rumble of conversation where everyone's voice gets to be heard.
Guys, I don't think I have time to make a trap.
Unless you've got one. Are we like under her chair? Where are we?
Yeah, where are we?
So imagine on the spire. Imagine if you look here at the spire, how there's this row of steps that leads out, that wraps around it. Or in this, they're not steps because they're naga. It's just a pathway. But as you're essentially near the top of that, so you're not underneath her throne, it essentially ejects you out onto that walkway right near the top.
Gotcha.
So you haven't seen yet the queen. She's essentially standing above you, if you will, or what do you think?
Yeah, no, it takes a while. It takes a while to set up a trap. It's not like a.
So do we just go fight again? I assume I'm at the back or like near the back. It has to be either Nemain or I at the back. So since the two squishies are up front for some reason.
No, it was so odd because it's like Nemain is the one who noticed the spores. There was a really good chance that somebody in the front did, and she was the only one who noticed. Anyways, it's like it's crazy, the perception. So yes, you're in the front though, Sharal. So you're seeing most of this, communicating this. With your mask on, you're feeling like you could count the leaves on every tree here. You're feeling pretty good.
It's real loud.
So this council meeting is right in motion here.
Yeah. So, I guess does with this perception mask, is this gonna from being in front here, does it seem like there's any natural way to approach this situation? Like, is there a way to jump her from behind?
You can't see her from where you're at just yet. If you want to try and poke your head out and try and get a better view, you can.
Yeah, I will try to quietly, like an animal in the woods, poke my little head out and look upon my prey.
Nice. You poke your head out, as you're sneaking around. You can see there's a lot of distraction with all the discussion going on, but you can see you're essentially here at the edge of it, and you sort of poke your head up, and you can see this is the queen, and she has this bright auburn hair, which is completely uncommon amongst the Naga. It's the only one you've seen. You can see the two male escorts behind her, and they're much smaller, the men are, than the ladies. And you can see those behind her, just like she said, and you see that she has a crown that's made of amber glass, which is an incredibly rare thing. And she's got this beautiful bone axe. You're not sure if it's ornamental or built for combat, but it's a beautiful sight. And she's calling out, there will be no treaty with the humans.
Is the axe like clearly in her view or in her hand, or is it something that could be slipped away from her before the fight starts?
It's on her back, right? It's part of her, like a king has a scepter sensation, right? And you can see her as she's yelling. She'll sometimes hold the axe up and to speak and call out with it, and then she puts it in her sheath.
Yeah, so I'll kind of like whisper back everything I've seen.
I should pass it down.
Hey.
Okay, Gary.
I already heard it. I can hear your breath.
Okay, I know. Look, it's still kind of weird, okay?
Yeah, if Nemain, do you want to be in the back or in between Petra and I? Because I would have taken up wherever you chose not to be, I guess.
You have the shield, so I would put you right beside, if not directly behind, Shira, and I will step in front of Petra, just to get the two bigs in the middle.
Okay, so I think he's looking like a fight. I mean,
just go hard and fast.
Hey,
hard
kid,
and fast, take her out.
Is this a fall? Would a fall from this height kill you? Not you, but the general you. Anyone?
Oh,
I mean, well, this is 30 plus feet up. around 30 feet up. You know what I mean? Because they still got to be able to hear. Maybe.
Oh, not as bad as I thought.
The captain said we. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
The captain said that we had to take out the queen by combat means. She didn't say that we couldn't take out the male escorts quietly. So
they might know. Somebody's gonna notice that.
How
I'm
do
not
we
sure we
get
can
out
pick them
there?
off.
How far away is Azrael at this point?
Oh, the burb.
I have beetles too.
So Azrael is she's floating above you, and so she is as far as like distance or proximity, she's just floating above you, and imagine she's 100 feet above, unnoticed above the tree, above the foliage.
So, all right, guys, we need a plan, because trying to take those two and her at the same time, if we all focus on her alone, great, but those two will cause a problem.
I have screaming beetles that have a chance to stun anyone who can hear them, so I could send one up. I doubt it would take out the queen and stun her, but it might take out the two males.
Well, Azrael,
but then everyone will know we're here.
See, and that's the kicker. Azrael at least causes poison and hysteria.
Ooh, that's fun.
So if we can get Azrael down here to use their ability to cause that fear, it may benefit us to at least allow for that distraction.
Is that they do it and then they leave and it's still active, or they have to actively be here while they're doing it?
I mean, technically, go ahead.
No, you're right. No, go what you're saying. Yeah.
No, I mean, technically, he has the ability to basically. We never confirmed if it was like a scent thing, but it would be proximity, and then it would be like how birds sometimes pick up particles on the ends of their wings and stuff, and they'll like dust them off or like bathe them off. Basically, he'd be dropping those particles. So it'd be like.
So he would have to be there. He would have to be there as the gist of it. He can't.
He would have to fly. Yeah, he would have to fly down and basically dust himself off and shake these spores to cause this hysteria. He could get out of there afterwards, and the effect is still in play. Not long, obviously, because it's pretty much just dust. But yeah,
but enough for us to maybe rush them. Yeah, I think all of us rushing her, is probably the way to go.
Okay.
Off with
take
her.
the gamble that the other naga will. Follow once she's killed.
Yeah, if you want to get rid of the little dudes, though, you could probably just like push them off into the crowd of all of them underneath. You just hit right with the shield, and just.
So if Gary and I go side by side and we do a knockback, he can use his shield, and I have my fanged axe. We can shove him off to the side and go direct for her. All four of us.
Yeah, I can take one pretty strong hit at her, and hopefully it would hit.
Okay, so I like this. So you guys are going to essentially Autumn, Gary, and the main are going to charge full force to knock the two males off, right?
Yes.
So and then I'm assuming Petra, you're coming in with an attack.
Yeah, I'm going to attack straight at the queen. Yeah, drop.
Gotcha. And then I'm assuming your bird will come in after that.
Azrael's
right,
she's actually going to pop in as we're doing this. So she'll make the first
open
move.
With the bird. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Confuse them.
Opening with the bird.
Yep.
Right, because the bird doesn't say it's war yet. A human says it's war right away. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's roll for Azrael. Boom. Roll 1d20.
19. My girl.
Nice. And who's she going for? The queen, the fear and hysteria, or the two men?
Specifically, she's gonna go for the queen for the fear and hysteria.
Gotcha. Okay, so boom. So the queen is yelling out to the crowd. There's some arguments. Her counselors are shaking their heads. They don't know. And then, boom, this massive bird just cuts through the foliage. Its wings flying out. She turns her head just as it comes right into her with its claws, digs into her chest, and litters these particles all over the queen. roll 1d6 plus 2 for the damage, and then I'm gonna see what happens with our queen.
6. That's 6 is my roll, and you said plus 2.
That's right.
So 8 total.
Okay, boom. So those claws dig straight into her chest. They punch right through her armor. Blood sprays out of her. She's screaming out. And as that dust glitters into her eyes, there gets to be this panic, and she starts screaming out, help, 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 help. So she's in hysterics, so she does everything with 1 bane. And so Azrael came in glowingly, and the Naga down below her, they don't know what's happening. They're screaming out. The other counselors are yelling, because it seems just like this random animal attack. They can't even put their fingers on what's happened. Gary and the main, are you guys going?
Yeah.
Time to go. Shield sweep.
Time to go. All right. So let's go ahead and roll. So are you trying to essentially shove them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're going to make that. Let me just pull that up real quick. The shove is with you. Okay, yeah, so you're making a driving attack. So you're making an attack roll with 1 bane. On a success, you and the target move a number of yards equal to your strength modifier in the same direction. So, so here's the catch with that. So it's your strength modifier. So Autumn is your, Nemain is, what's your strength?
So Nemain's got a strength of 10, but her gauntlet on that arm would give her a +4 as well.
So you would need to ignite that gauntlet. So that's your second of 3 charges. You got to ignite that gauntlet, or you won't be able to shove a shove. And Gary, what's your strength?
Mine's a 13.
Okay, so you could knock them essentially 9 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. So you could essentially knock them 12 on yours. So boom, that rage ignites within you again. Boom. And once again, we've got 10 rounds to do this before you pass out.
Yep.
Call it for the last time. You passed out after the argument and then came back to, right? So, boom. Okay, so then you guys are attacking with 1 bane, but you have the advantage of surprise, so you get a boon. Okay. And so that cancels that out. So roll 1d20, and you're attacking the 2 males, which you can tell by their reaction to the bird are not as seasoned as the Naga warriors.
Oh, I lost my die. Hold on.
Oh, no, that's 11 plus 3 for me, so that's a 14 total.
Oh, God, where did it go? The void.
It did. It just disappeared into the void.
Land, where all the D20 go?
No, I got it, because I rolled a 15. It landed on it, so we're good.
Hey. Okay, so you got a 15, and what did you get? And what did you get? Knocked him?
14 total.
Boom. So out of nowhere, just these screaming, raging into Maine, you're screaming at the top of your lungs. You can't even control yourself now that you're enraged with this gauntlet. It is pumping you full of fluids that you are probably not going to recover from in the way you would like, and you just took a year off the back end of your life. And Gary, this is everything you've got. That shield is a ram. You've been living for this moment. You collide with both of the males, both of the males, and boom. They're thrown off the edge of the spire, and these males come whirling down and crash into the Naga down below. More screams and panic are erupting everywhere. What's happened? And now Petra and Shara, it's you guys. Petra, what are you doing?
I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Exploit Weakness. So I'm going to use my lighter than air ability to hoist myself up with my Vashet in the air and aim it straight at the queen and scream, "For the peace treaty!" As I come down, I'm going to attack her. Exploit the weakness means I attack with 1 bane. So I roll my d20.
You're going to exploit weakness? Nice, okay.
Yeah, which is a 20. And so -2, 18 to hit.
Okay, you slam right into her. That gives you a plus of damage, yeah?
So I get 3d6 plus 2 for my Vasha. And 10 plus 6 plus 2 is 18.
It's 18.
She gets hit for 18.
Woo!
Wow.
Exploit weakness is good.
No, this is why a Marauder is so deadly, right? This is what they were made to do, was this moment. So you leapt through the air with everything you've got, and you drove your Vasha with everything you've got right into her chest. Boom, it punches punches through her ribs, pokes out the back. She's screaming. Blood is spraying all over you. You're a mess. And what starts to happen is in your back, where the crystal shard has been lodged, it starts to throb and ache. And it starts like pulsing, and you can't seem to control it. But it's just screaming as it's in your back. As you've got this, you're digging it into her. Your Vasha into her. What are we doing, Shira?
I'm gonna rush in. I'm gonna make sure that if the queen does lash back, it's at me and not Petra, because I'm pretty sure I can take a hit better than her after last time. So yeah, I'm going to run in with the knuckle dusters. That'll be a 13 to hit.
And
I'm basically just throwing myself between Petra and her. So like she's shoving the spear in, and I basically like throw myself. I got like an arm over the spear and just pow right in the face.
So roll one. You get one boon to attack because it's a surprise.
Okay. So that's a 2, so it'll be a total of 15.
You smash those knuckle dusters in. Give me your damage.
Damage is going to be 2 plus 3 is 5.
5. Boom. Okay, so she is a bloody, screaming mess of mayhem, right? She's in full hysterics. This queen is going to be dead soon. Down below, though, you can see the Naga warriors have started to go up that spire as fast as can be. They're on their way up, and they'll be up. Essentially, you have one more round before the other warriors are going to hit the top of the spire down below. And the other counselors on the other side are screaming. They're calling out orders to save the queen. And you're looking around saying, I hope at some point Reyna shows up. Because right now you're standing on top of a spire with an ocean of Naga beneath you. All right, so Reyna, the Deneby, the queen, she swings with her axe. Boom, ooh.
At me, I assume?
No, she comes right for Petra here. So Petra, you take 12 points of damage.
Oof.
Her axe
I'm dead.
is not...
I'm at 0.
Boom.
Yeah.
You drop unconscious. Okay, does that... So how much health did you have?
12.
Essentially... Okay, so now so when your damage equals your health, you drop unconscious. And the way that works is then you start rolling 1d6 at the end of the turn.
Okay.
And you need to get 3 evens before you get 3 odds. If you get 3 odds before you get 3 evens, you die. If you get 3 evens before you get 3 odds, you come to enough.
Cool. Y'all better end this within 3 turns. I'm just gonna sit back for a while.
So she gives you that axe. This is not a weakling. This is no weakling. She screams with everything she's got. Boom, and she's screaming. Your blood is now spraying everywhere. And just as you slammed into her, she slams you right back. You are out for the count on the top of this spire. Your blood spilling out.
I trust the rest of my team as I take a little nap.
All right, guys. Next action, we're back to you guys. The Naga are racing up there. You can see a few spare spears being tossed, but the counselors are yelling, "No, no, no! You'll hit the queen."
I'm up
we're
in
back
there,
to
basically on
you're
her
in it.
lap. So I'm going to grab as much of this beautiful auburn hair as I can and just leap over, because this throne has like a back to it of some sort of...
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so do it, and I'll take her
I'm
head.
gonna grab her I'm grabbing her by the hair, and I'm leaping over to just basically like use all my weight to leverage down. I'm not necessarily making an attack. I'm hoping to grant a boon to basically get her chin up.
Yes.
Gotcha. So what I'm gonna say, so are you trying to do damage to her, or are you just trying to prep her, impair her, so that it makes it easier for somebody else to hit her?
Yeah, I'm trying to line up her neck for a nice, clean slice.
Okay, so make this action with 1 Bane.
Okay.
And then it will make her much easier for the next person to hit.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
Is this going to be, I guess strength and agility are the same. Oh.
You see,
that's it. Even with that. Bane, that was a 2.
Oh, no.
So roll 1d6.
And that's a Bane of 6. So
boom. So you grab her hair and you try to leap over, and she just reaches up her hands and pile drives you into the ground.
Okay.
You take 3 points of damage as she just slams you into the ground like
No
you were
sweat.
nothing.
No sweat. I'll take those
Boom.
3 points of damage since I'm taking damage. Does this
Wait, weakness?
Does this give me an exhaust enemy?
Exhaust enemy, yep.
Okay.
Roll 1d20. You're trying to attack her strength. Your strength. That's.
Ooh, it's a 4.
Yeah, he doesn't get exhausted.
For shit.
All right, Nemain and Gary, we're back to you.
I have a question for Nemain and I.
Yeah.
Since earlier when we were in the stairwell and we went down to go fight the Naga initially, since that triggered our fatal flaw and we went with it, did we get a seeker point for that?
You did. That's
and
right.
Remind me how we can use those, because I know it's good, but I can't remember.
You can use them to give yourself a boon for any action.
Okay. Cool. So we've got those.
So if you can knock her off, like if I can position myself in front of her and you can use your shield to knock her forward into my axe while I'm bracing on the edge, it might be enough and we can use our points for it.
I want to work with you, but I have a character moment that I can't ignore because the only person I have a link with through all this just went down. So Gary's just gonna go stab her. Like, there's no. This is not. He has to. Like.
Okay.
So I
Roll
just gotta
1d20.
hope it works, because essentially he hears her mind
Go
snuff
blank.
out,
Blank.
and there's this moment of like, no, and he just drops the shield and pulls out the sword and just rushes. So
Avenge me, Gary.
1d20, and I'll definitely use my seeker bonus on this. So that is a 12. 13 strength means it's 15. The bone sword is cumbersome, so it gives me a boon, but if I use my seeker point, or I mean a bane, but if I use my seeker point, it should negate that. So it should just be a flat 15.
Boom. That's a hit.
So that's 2d6 total damage. Please, please, please. That's 3 damage total.
Wow. Boom. So you cut her with it, but she's still there. She's still all there together, and she's still holding on. And I think that's the whole team. Oh no, Nemain, it's you.
Nemain.
Has an action.
Andrew
So you got it. In the next round, the next round, the Naga arrive.
All right.
It's all in your hands, Nemain.
All right. Does it use? Would for Azrael to use shredding as she's coming down? Would that use my action solely, or would I be able to move and use an action as she comes down to do shredding?
So the way it works out is you get one triggered action, which you can use to have Azrael do something,
Right.
and then you get an action to attack.
Perfect. So I'm gonna have Azrael help me since she's still in the vicinity, and I'm gonna have her move down to use shredding towards the Naga's head to try to tangle in her hair to pull her up. And then I'm gonna make my.
Do you want to deliver damage, or are you trying to immobilize her?
I'm gonna deal the final blow. Like I'm aiming for her throat.
Okay, gotcha. So roll 1d20 for Azrael.
All right, Azrael, be with me, man. Yo, 18, my girl.
Great. So boom, she latches those claws into that thick auburn hair, and she's got her tangled up, which now means you're going to get a boon to attack her. She's messing with your ego, and she can't deal with this. And now is the time for the fatal blow.
Yes.
You have what it takes.
Do it. All right, and then I'm doing a 20, right?
1d20. Yep.
Okay.
And then you're going to roll. Go ahead. Yep.
Okay,
And
so that
roll
was
1d6 to add on top of that.
also Azrael's shredding does 1d6 plus 1. So I got a 10 for mine. Azrael's shredding is a 6.
What I'm saying is with the shredding is you can either do the damage or hold her. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you're essentially trading your attack like to impair her versus damaging her.
Either way, it was a 6, so I'm good.
Gotcha. And then what? Okay, so 6 for you. Okay, so that gives you 16 for your attack then?
Yeah, so it was 1d6, right? Not more?
Yeah, that's right. You get one boon to help you out with that. Yep.
Yes, so we're good. And then the gauntlet Does the gauntlet apply here? Because I used my axe. Because my axe has the deadly times 2.
So what would happen is the +4 that you get. You have enough to hit her.
Awesome.
You have enough to hit her. Yeah. Okay. So now roll the damage. Right. So it's 2d6 damage.
Okay.
Plus,
on top of the 6 I already did.
2d6 plus 2. Yeah.
Okay.
It says 1d6. So 1d6 plus one more dice. So it's 2d6.
So 1 6 and a 4. So 10.
Okay. Boom. So you leap forward with everything you have, and you bring your axe down in this incredible heroic leap, and boom, you cut the head off of the queen, and her crown tumbles to the floor, and your bird flies off with her head, and she releases it and drops it into the Naga ocean down below. The 2 Nagas that were just about ready to approach the top stop in silence. The whole ocean of Naga are frozen in silence, and right at that moment when it feels as if now what's going to happen to us, Reyna bursts out of the swamp with her axe and says, "Behold, I have taken out our queen. I have united with the humans. I'm doing the thing that she said she cannot do." And the crowd is rumbling, and they don't know what to think about it. But then her pack of other Nagas swarm around her, and the other Nagas are arguing about it. The 2 counselors are going back and forth, and she moves her way up to the spire. She's pushing past people to come up to the top. She scoops up the crown right in front of you and puts it on her head. And this silence ushers over the crowd. With this, I make an alliance with the humans, and I will show you that the humans are not more important than the Naga. We are going to be united in this treaty. And these who have worked for us, these humans, to show that we can work together as a team, and we've taken out the queen. But now, as the killers of the queen, you all get an opportunity to throw stones at them. And so, as is our law, and she leans over to you guys, now would be the time to get back in that tunnel and run.
I'm scooping up Petra immediately.
Thank you.
Gotcha. So the other Nagas start throwing stones up at the top of the spire. This is their ritual, right? The person who kills the queen, everyone throws a stone at them to see if they're tough enough to withstand the mob, and stones start getting thrown at you like crazy. And she steps to the side. This is the part she didn't inform you about. And she looks at you and starts running. Boom, a rock slams into Shara. A rock hits you, Gary, on the shoulder.
As that rock hits me, I pick it up, and I look to where it was thrown to, and I throw it back. And that's a 17. Plus 1 is 18. So I hit that person, and they are fatigued before I jump down the hole. Just for the record. I demoralized them.
Yeah, boom, you throw that, smacks her right in the head, the Naga down below. She's dazed for a bit, and you dive into the exit. Gary, you picked up Petra.
I picked up Petra, yeah, definitely. And I'm like, I hold my bone shield like over her shoulder, and yeah, run to that tunnel. But as I'm going, I'll look at the new queen and I'll be like, "Pleasure working with you," and I'll kind of wink at her and dive down the tunnel.
If she puts her hand over her heart, will be forever in your debt. She lifts her hand up.
Can I grab the ex-queen's weapon?
The axe?
Yeah.
Sure.
Great, I'm gonna do it. Let's go. I'm taking off.
Boom! You grab this great axe. It's a two-handed weapon. It's deadly +3. It does 2d6 +3. It's a two-handed weapon, and it doesn't have the cumbersome property because it's such an elegant piece of equipment. You jump into that tunnel, and as rocks are being thrown and pelted at you, and at least for a moment you think you might have done some good this time. Instead of maybe ending the world last time, this time you might have done some good, and you might have forged a treaty. You may never personally be welcome there in that clutch again, but at least you've changed the conversation between Far East and the Naga as you're going through that tunnel, and you begin to think, wait a minute, but we blew up the tunnel. What happens when we get there? And
blow up more spores.
Oh no!
And that's the end of our mission for tonight.
Well,
thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I can't believe you pulled that off realistically with the amount of strikes and Petra's attacks. I mean, the damage. Because I was just doing it authentically, and it was like, well, we'll let this happen before it got much more complicated with other Naga. But you did it. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Go team.
Hell of a lot of damage there, Petra.
That's a real good one if you land it, but I mean, I'm real squishy, so that's the drawback.
Right?
Is when you got hit back.
Yeah, guys, I am not squishy at all.
Well, you look squishy.
I know, but like, I could take a just for the record, does anyone have more than 22 health?
No.
I have 21. I'm like right under you.
I am the least
Yeah, I have
squishy.
21 too, I'm pretty sure.
15!
Continuing my tradition of playing squirrely little characters who are very difficult to kill.
Rolda.
Welcome to Shara.
Shara is awesome. Now, Shara's a survivor, and they get the most amount of health. They're built to get hurt, and he was built to get hurt.
Yeah.
You are also Bebe, and we don't want you to die.
Fine.
Well, nice, guys. I loved how this played out. Certainly not how I expected it, as it never is. But lots of great choices, and maybe Graydon will come to haunt you at a later time.
Bring it on.
Nice work.
Down with
Nice.
I guess that's it. Be sure to join us next week, same time for season finale of Class Trip. And join us next month, last Wednesday of the month, for the next episode of this. Well, you know, the cast of characters might change up a little bit again. Who knows? We'll see who's here.
I like it.
Adam, take us
I like it. All right, thanks so much, guys. This is Asunder. It's a dark tabletop fantasy RPG, and thank you so much for my amazing cast tonight. Everybody threw in and made great choices, and thank you everyone for sitting on the stream and watching it for all these hours. Well, we had a great time, and I hope you did as well. And we'll see you all at the end of the next month.